Rogers TV.
All right, how did I do today? Did I annoy you just as this show started? Because thanks to Mike, Farwell's Force member number 10, our All Request Friday today is the songs that annoy us. Well, you'll pick a song that annoys you, and then it will likely annoy us. Although, I must say that at least two of the songs, because of course I have to field the requests, at least some of them. I don't know what requests Devin has received this week that you phoned in, but those that I received by email, two of them I actually like. I can't believe songs that I like are annoying to you. But nonetheless, find out if the songs that some of you are annoyed by annoy the rest of you as we go through this All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. Every day we start the show and our phone lines are open to you. And I can tell when the phone lines get open because there's like a little red stop sign on all the phone lines until Devin pushes the magic button. And I kid you not, he no sooner pushed that button than the phone started to ring. So why don't we just start off by going right to them, because Dave from Cambridge, Farwell's Force member number 47, is obviously anxious to talk today. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Mike. Just a quick couple points on the main subject this past week, your garbage collection. I live in Cambridge, and I'm a senior. And my first point is, was this a subject matter that you were eliciting some feedback and good response to fill your show? Or B, is your garbage bins in KW different than in Cambridge? And the reason why I pose those quick questions to you is it was my garbage day today. And so I didn't pay any attention to it. I just went in and got my garbage cart and took it out to the curb. And it was clearly marked on the top of the lid how to point the garbage bin in the correct position and the whole bit, like an 8-year-old could understand it. So I had no problem with that. And so that's why I posed the two questions to you. And go Rangers, go, and have a great day, Mike.
All right, Dave. I appreciate the call. You're kind of reading my mind this morning. So let's get into that a little more, shall we? Dave is right. Like, this should not be as difficult as it is for us, the people who have in their possession the new garbage bins, right? Because it is very clearly marked on that bin how the bin should be placed at the curbside, in which direction it should face so that it can be picked up by the truck when the truck comes by. And I understand through conversations I've been having that one of the biggest problems that collectors are facing is bins that are improperly placed at the side of the road because they're either not spaced far enough apart, they're facing the wrong way, whatever the case may be. Trevor sends an email to Mike at 570news.com along these same lines. He says, do we have people living in the region that have been living under a rock? I'm a driver out on our streets, and I see people with just garbage bags or garbage cans, old green bins, new bins not being put in the right place. But yet all I hear is complaining about the crappy rollout of the new program and how bins are not being picked up in time, some sitting for days. People need to stop complaining and comply with the new placement of where the bins should be. This is not the drivers of the truck's fault. It's for being too slow. It's the citizens' fault for not putting the bins in the correct place. Trevor, I do not disagree that there are two parts to this. You're absolutely right. And again, in conversations I've had over the past 72 hours, it has become very clear to me that we have not gotten the message. And that's a shame, because as I've told you many times before, I like to think that everything I say on this radio program is heard by every single person in this region. But clearly, that is not the case, as much as I wish it were. So we are getting this wrong. And as Dave points out, it is very clearly marked on your container how it should be placed at the curb. However, let me come back to something that I've been saying all week long. And that is, we are not the first community to roll out this new program. So why is the rollout so bumpy? Are you trying to tell me, Trevor, and to other people that I've spoken to this week, that we are dumber than other communities? Maybe. Okay, sure. Let's use that premise. But then I have another question for our region. Why am I being punished for all the dumb people? Because I can tell you what my bin is doing right now. It is still sitting at the end of my driveway, just like it was yesterday morning. It is positioned properly. It's facing in the right direction. It's easily accessed by the truck. The truck hasn't come. Why am I being punished? Because my neighbor can't put their bin out properly. The other question I have about this is, why did we take a service that was working fine and screw it up? What was the business case for this nonsense that we are enduring this week? And I know this is not the biggest problem in the world today, but as a buddy who was really fired up about this texted to me last night, he says, yeah, it's a first world problem, but I live in the first world. 1 week ago, I went into my basement, I sorted my recyclables, I brought them out to the curb. I did the same with my garbage bin, because last week was garbage for whatever. 1 week ago, I took my stuff out to the curb for collection day, and I came home and it was gone. It was collected. This week, with the new system, my day changed. I still took my stuff out. It's not going away anymore. What part of this is my fault? And why? Why did we take a system that was working and change it to a system that is clearly not? Sure, we will eventually get there. But what was the purpose of making this change? And one more question. Again, I get it. Dave made it clear. An 8-year-old should be able to figure out in which direction the bin should be placed at the curbside. I get it. It's not rocket science. But honest question here. The hell difference does it make? Why is this new system so fussy that the bin has to be placed in just such a way so the truck can pick it up? Why is that the case? Do you know what I used to do? Again, with the system in this community that worked, I would take my stuff to the curb. The stuff would go away. I didn't have to position it exactly here or exactly there or with the handle facing here or the handle facing there. I just got it to the curb, and my taxes took care of the rest. Thank you very much. Why is the mechanical arm so fussy? I can't wait. You know what we're going to end up doing? We're going to end up painting lines on the road or at the curbside so that we know exactly where the bin has to go. Why? Why is the mechanical arm so fussy? My buddy Brad, who used to collect in our neighborhood, was not fussy at all. He just picked up the stuff we put at the curb. Humans are better than robots. That's all I got to say about that. Sandra, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. What do you say after all that?
I don't know. What do you say? It's up to you.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Okay. Big smile. Come on. What I have, this has been bugging me for now 2 weeks, or a week and a half at least, minimum. You know that booklet that we were to get in the mail? You know, the one that they talked about coming out in the mail?
I honestly don't remember that, Sandra. I don't remember getting mine in the mail.
The new on the TV on the Channel 12 news.
So you got a booklet in the mail, and then what?
Yeah, they were supposed to get a booklet in the mail.
Oh, but you didn't.
So on the street I live on, which is, I don't know, 5 minutes away from another street, that street got the booklet. My street didn't get the booklet. So my neighbor has called 3 times, asked them why did that happen? And, it'll come. It was supposed to come on Tuesday, didn't come Monday. Didn't come Monday, came Tuesday. Was supposed to come Tuesday, didn't come Tuesday. Was supposed to come yesterday.
Right. So what we have here is another little hiccup with the rollout, right? So in this particular case, Sandra was expecting a booklet in the mail. Didn't get a booklet in the mail. When a neighboring street got a booklet in the mail, they call the region, say, where's our booklet? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Just like the truck that's supposed to pick up the green bin that's been now sitting at the end of my driveway for almost 36 hours. Now, a little less, because I had it out about midnight when I got home from Sarnia on Wednesday night. Bin went to the curb, so let's call it midnight. So 24 hours and another 9. I'm 33 hours and counting that my bin's been at the end of my driveway. Ain't nobody coming for it yet. Sandra's waiting for her booklet. Trevor's right in his email. Dave is right with his phone call. There is a responsibility for us, the residents, to do this properly. But I'm sorry, I'm not shouldering all of this around here. This rollout has been gummed up. Preston Paul, Farwell's Force member number 45. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How's it going?
I want to come to work one day, Paul, one day soon, and not have this be the issue of the day.
Isn't this crazy?
It's nuts. It's nuts.
I know. I when you said that you're putting yours out, I knew it wasn't going to get picked up.
I knew it wasn't too. Yeah.
I heard on the news they put 13 or 16 extra garbage trucks out to try and catch up. Yesterday or the day before, they've been trying to catch up.
And I've been wondering about this, too. Like, if you're so far behind on week 1, like, what the hell is going to happen next week? Are they going to collect on Sunday this week, too?
Yeah, I got my pamphlet. I've read it over. It says not to put any garbage bags on top of the container, and I look across the street, and what do I see? A garbage bag on top of the container.
I don't get it, Paul. But tell me seriously, why is the truck so fussy? Why is the truck so fussy, Paul?
I don't know. You think they'd have gone to Listowel or Guelph and did a little study on it, say, hey, this works, let's try it here.
Bingo.
But I don't know, they've decided that maybe they're smarter. Oh, let's design a new system and see how that works. I'm telling you, Mike, it's unbelievable.
It is, buddy. Good to hear from you today. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. See ya.
All right, we'll see you soon. I'm sure Paul will call back. We like hearing from him. Donna, Farwell's Force member number 2. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Just asking a question. All we have for garbage in all of KW is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There is no Monday or Tuesday anymore. How in the heck, or as you say, how in the double H hockey sticks, can they get the garbage picked up in 3 days?
I thought they were doing 4, Donna.
I do not see Tuesday on the map.
Okay.
I am currently looking at the map in the booklet, which I got in the mail.
You got the booklet in the mail. That's good.
I got the booklet right in front of me, and I do not see Tuesday.
Well, I mean, maybe the trucks are going to start driving faster. I don't know. I don't know.
Even in our booklet, you know what they've included? The fine town of Maryhill over in Woolwich. I mean, they're even included in KW. They are going that far out.
I love it.
Take care.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. How are we going to collect it in so few days? Pat, good morning.
Good morning. I just had the privilege of watching the truck come by my place in Cambridge today. A day late, but the operation seemed fairly smooth. I mean, all my neighbors seem to have the cans out there in the proper alignment, and there was no problem. It's a little bit slow. But
a little bit slow? I'm 33 hours and counting, Pat.
Well, like I said, I mean, the operation itself, not the fact that they're a day late, because they're a day late here, too. But, yeah, everything seemed to work fairly smoothly.
Well, you have the smartest neighborhood in town, and I like to hear that.
Oh, and we don't even live in Waterloo.
Pat, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it.
Could I mention one more thing?
You certainly can.
Okay, I was going to call later, but since I've got you here, the other day when you were talking to Mr. Puddle about his he and his daughter situation.
Yeah, the man from Guelph who was out on a coffee date with his daughter, and somebody thought, something suspicious about this relationship.
Yes. Now, he had me on his side for the most part. Okay, almost all of it was going according to the way it probably should always go with everyone. However, he mentioned the WP word. And
the WP word?
Yes, white privilege.
Oh, well, what's
that? That when he was speaking with the police, he was just figuring he got an easier time of it than someone who might not be a white male.
No, I don't. What I heard him say, Pat, was that he recognizes that the interaction for him was not one that gave him any anxiety. Whereas for somebody else, it may have.
Go back to the tape, because he mentioned white privilege.
Well, but there,
and I think that in a way, I mean, I know what he's saying, but in a way, it does kind of besmirch the police a little, because it's intimating that perhaps someone who might be black or otherwise colored skin might have a difficult time.
But they would have. Like that is a reality, right? We recognize that
with our local police.
No, I'm not besmirching the police at all. I'm saying that somebody who is not a white dude like me and Jonathan Puddle, and I'm guessing you are too.
Yes.
Yeah, they might feel differently based on an interaction they had anywhere with a person in uniform. That's all.
It's the way it was worded just didn't come across that way to me. It sounded to me like he was saying that he figures he got an easier time because he was white and a male.
I got you. Listen, Pat, I don't really agree with what our interpretations were different. We experienced it differently. I'll just leave it there, but appreciate the call. Jason, good morning.
Morning, Mike. It's Jason. Sometimes you call me John. I just have a quick comment today, not about doom and gloom, but I just find it surprising that people are so surprised that this rollout wasn't smooth. Like, I don't have any expectations for my government other than exactly this.
Jason, that's very well said. I was thinking about this as well. We are in an election year. On what track record will your existing regional councillors run? Speed cameras? Snow clearing and the salt shortage that they couldn't seem to pivot around and adapt to this winter? Water? Anyone? And now the waste collection cart-based system rollout. That's 4 off the top of my head. It has not been a banner term for this regional government. Okay, I'm running late. I haven't even done my Farwell Show 5 yet, but it's Friday, okay? We got to have a little bit of fun on our Friday. So here's what we're going to start with right now, okay? Your not $1 million question. I will get to your Farwell Show 5, I promise. But let's see if you can be like Pat's neighborhood and be the smartest neighbor in this region by coming up with the answer to our not $1 million question today, which is approximately 20% of Canadians admit, so 1 in 5 of us will admit that we have never cleaned this. What is it? What is it that 1 in 5 of us will admit to having never cleaned? Take your best guess. It's the not $1 million question on the Mike Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Truth is, I thought it mattered. I thought that music mattered. But does it bollocks? Not compared to how people matter.
We'll be singing when we're winning. We'll be singing. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
One of 2 songs that annoy you that I actually like. This, sincerely, is one of my all-time faves. But for Heather, Farwell's Force member number 92, it's a song that annoys her. Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping on your All Request Friday. Songs that annoy us. We still have room if you'd like to get one of your most annoying songs into our All Request Friday. Drop me an email, mike@570news.com, or give Dev a call and let him know what annoying song you would like to hear. Fridays also mean our not $1 million question. Today, I'm asking you what 1 in 5 of us, 20% of Canadians, admit they have never cleaned this. What is this thing that we have never cleaned? We'll start with Carol. Carol, good morning. Do you know the answer to our not $1 million question?
I certainly do.
You do?
I do.
Okay, it is what?
A toilet.
What? Who doesn't clean their toilet? Carol, what kind of house are you living in?
No, 1 in 5. I do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. You're part of the 4 and 5 that do clean the toilet. I like that. Not the answer we're looking for, but thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good to hear from you this morning. I forgot that other side of the equation. Thank you for the reminder, Carol. Over to Bill we go on the not $1 million question. Good morning, William.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. There's so many things that some people may not clean, and I'm trying to cover it all, but I'm going to say the stove.
The stove. A good guess, not the answer we're looking for. I thought the self-cleaning oven was the best thing that ever came along, right? Who wants to clean their oven? Just put on that, hit the button and let it go. But that's not the answer we're looking for.
That's not it.
Frank, good morning.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Do you know the answer to the not $1 million question? 1 in 5 of us admit we've never cleaned this. What is it?
I say their car.
Their car?
Yeah, like they're inside of their car or their trunk.
You know what? I like that guess. I have friends who work for a certain local hockey team that are so fanatical about cleaning their vehicles. But and they're a little bit weird. I won't go too far down that path. Not the answer we're looking for, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate you playing along this morning. The interior or the exterior. So that's the problem. The exterior, it gets dirty so fast, right? Clinton is next. It's got to be Farwell's Force member number 35, right?
Yes, it is. How's it going, Mike?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good. Do you know what 1 in 5 of us admit to never having cleaned?
I have 2 options, but I think I'm going to go with reusable water bottles.
Reusable water bottles. Where would you come up with an idea like that?
Just a hunch. I don't know. Going to the gym, a lot of people, they don't seem to actually wash them out. Maybe you give them a quick rinse, but really they actually don't use soap and water.
Just out of curiosity, what was the other option?
Mattresses.
Oh, you had 2 good options there. You got it right. The reusable water bottle is what 1 in 5 of us admit to never cleaning.
Yeah.
Clinton,
yeah, cool. I got it right.
You are the smartest guy in the world.
It was just a hunch with me now going to the gym that often.
Attaboy. You notice all these bad habits that people have.
I am picking them up, yes.
Good to hear from you, my friend. Have a great day.
Talk to you later.
You
Bye.
too. Clinton is Farwell's Force member number 35, and he knew that 20% of Canadians admit to never cleaning their reusable water bottle. You mean we're supposed to clean those things? What are you talking about? Francis, I'm down to about 30 seconds, but I want to hear from you this morning. Good morning.
Okay, since you got the right answer, I got the right answer for picking up garbage containers here in Listowel.
Okay, what's the answer?
They can come up to the driveway, and within less than 30 seconds, they pick the container up, and they run away, and away they go. 1 week, we get garbage pickup. The next week is garbage and recycle.
But you've got this mechanical arm doing it too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Since 2019, we were here, and they go around once, pick up the garbage, and then they go around again with another truck, and they pick up the recycle. And walla bing, walla bang, and away they go.
It works in Listowel, but we can't figure it out in Waterloo region. Why didn't we send some people to Listowel to figure out how to do this? It's the Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
I rode my bicycle past your window last night. I roller skated to your door at daylight. It almost seems like you're avoiding me. I'm okay alone, but you got something I need. nothing for me. Oh, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
That's Melanie and Brand New Key on your All Request Friday songs that annoy you. Deb from the Hill. I didn't know that's what we called Mary Hill, but I like it. Deb, thank you for the request on our All Request Friday. This is also a day during which we celebrate International Women's Day. It falls International Women's Day on Sunday, March the 8th, but we are celebrating the region round today. And in recognition of that, a couple local leaders, strong female leaders, that is, join us on the show. Dorothy McCabe is the mayor of Waterloo. Your worship, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Happy International Women's Day. Eve.
Eve, I like it. And to you as well. Mayor McCabe is joined by Melissa Durrell, who's the chair of the Uptown Waterloo BIA and a force in her own right. Melissa, good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mike Farwell. It's so good to see you. Hi, Mayor.
Hi, Melissa.
We're actually down the hall from each other, Mike, in clothing closets, if you can see. So that's how much we want to talk about empowering women in Waterloo region today.
I absolutely love it that you're taking time away from the celebration this morning, which I know will carry into the afternoon, which we'll get into more. But Mayor McCabe, let me throw that over to you. And just the idea of the day, the momentum that's around it at the event you're at this morning. How are you feeling? What's the energy like?
Oh, I mean, I think the energy level is high. This event that the chamber hosts and that Chair Karen Redmond has been organizing for, I think they said 29 years, has just continued to gain in momentum and in size. And we're at St. George's Banquet Hall this morning because the previous venues have sold out. So there's got to be 500 women here. It's well sponsored. I mean, the energy level here it's really vibrant and as great as the women in the room are.
Well, and you are in a pretty unique position, Mayor McCabe, as not only the mayor in Waterloo, but a council that has more women than men on it. Politically, that's a rarity. What's that like? What does that mean to the city of Waterloo?
Well, and Melissa was on one of the councils, I believe, that like kind of broke through that barrier. But I mean, it's fantastic. We're a very collaborative council. We work really well with staff and the partners across the community, including the BIA and the chamber and, the universities and the college and local businesses. But, the six women, including myself, who are on here, they care deeply about the community. They think really closely about all of the various issues, and we're professional. We discuss, we debate, but then we are able to kind of leave it at the council table and really come to issues with the mindset of what is best for the community, and I think that's just wonderful. The two men on our council are fantastic as well, but it is a unique experience to have female leadership in a community. And Waterloo has led the way on that for many, many years. I think I'm about the fifth mayor, if I think back. So I'm grateful that the citizens of Waterloo are very comfortable and very used to and celebrate supporting women in elected office and in leadership.
Melissa, when Mayor McCabe talks about you being on one of those first councils that really started to change the demographic in Waterloo, I'm just thinking then of a career trajectory such as yours, a female journalist, and here you are having a conversation with the old white guy who's the talk show host, which is primarily who hosts talk shows, in this country, really. So you go female journalist, female politician, female business leader now in our community. I mean, it's almost like you're just breaking through a new ceiling every time you go somewhere else.
Yeah, my head hurts. No, just kidding. It's funny. I wanted to comment on something the mayor said because I'll take you back to when I first came to this community. And as you mentioned, Mike, I was a journalist. The first Waterloo council I covered, there wasn't a single female elected. So that was in 2023. So it was in around there, and it was an all male council.
No, 2023. Must have been 2003.
Thank you very much, Mayor. So yes. And so, really, I have to give amazing women in our community got together and said this isn't good enough, and so we went from having overall in our region 17% women elected, and in the last election we were at about 48, and if you include the trustees in, we were over 50% women elected in this community. So I think, to me, that really shows women stand up for each other in this community. We've got a voice, and when there isn't room at the table, other women are making room. And I hope that is something that I can do as I kind of shuffle through all the different places that I am in this community, that, one of the things I always try to do is bring other women to that table with me. I was at a meeting the other day and there were more men named Tim than women at that table. So Mike, we still have work to do.
What a great comparison. And yes, work to do. Some of that work will happen today, as again, with the day falling on Sunday, we're celebrating around the region. The International Women's Day market in Waterloo. You, Melissa, will be a keynote speaker at In Full Bloom. I know you're not nervous. You're so accustomed to this, but what kind of messaging will you be bringing?
Well, the idea came from this idea of Give to Gain is the theme this year. And so we wanted to take it to the next level to say, how can we actually help women in this community? And I work with WCTWR, which they do mentoring circles. And I mentor a lot of young women, and they always ask the same question. So that's what this keynote's on. The three relationships every businesswoman should have in this community. It's a peer, it's a mentor, but it's a connector, sponsor, and those ones are the most important. And statistically, we know that most women do not have a sponsor, and that's that person that says your name in the room when you're not in it. That's that woman that brings you into that boardroom, or says in those early conversations before the meetings start, they're the ones saying your names. Those are really important relationships to build. So I'm hoping that I can inspire women in the audience today to look for those three relationships, build those three relationships, and even be those people for others, because we can all look up and look down. So I know I've got amazing mentors and sponsors in my life, and now I'm trying to do it for the younger generation.
Mayor McCabe, what does the event mean for the city of Waterloo and the women who live there and outside? I mean, it's a pretty big community that goes beyond obviously just the city's borders.
Oh, sure. But in the city, for years has been supporting small businesses. And so this really puts a focus on women who are small business owners. And we have, have a campaign. I mean, we always support, we always have a campaign about supporting local. So this is amplifying that as well, to really focus on and find the people in the community who are really dedicated to our community. So we're really proud to be part of this through the Waterloo Region Small Business Center, which provides, some funding, some mentorship, some consultation and support with developing business plans and things like that. And I think it's really just a critical role that the city can help play. Because we want to support people getting into business and then setting up their business in Waterloo, growing their business here and staying here. So we're really happy to be supporting particularly women on an ongoing basis, but especially today to help them really showcase what it is that they're doing.
Connected, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this, Mayor McCabe, because your staff was quick to point out, hey, the Council for a Day contest is now open. Melissa was just talking about mentoring young boys and young girls, but an opportunity with this Council for a Day contest. Tell me more about it, please.
Sure. So every year I have an annual State of the City, and it'll be on April 16th. So we put a call out to every grade 5 student across Waterloo to submit their great idea to make Waterloo an even better place to live. So you can send your video or your written idea to mayor@waterloo.ca, and then we will select 8 children, and you get to come to the State of the City. We will recognize the ideas that you've presented, and then you spend the day with myself and city staff, and we show you all the great things and services that the city operates and provides to residents. So thanks, Mike, for mentioning that. And just a quick thing, there was a young boy, Ryan Joby, I think his last name is, who was the mayor for the day 8 years ago, and then he is now Laurier Student Union president. So there really is a fantastic mentoring opportunity through this program.
Well, and Melissa, that makes me think of you. You talked about the mentors you have had and those that you try to mentor today. But let's back it way up to Melissa Durrell, the 11-year-old grade 5 student, and who might have been like, who was inspiring you then as you headed towards a career in journalism?
Well, I think probably like most people in grade 5, it's your parents you look to, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're such a great source for me, my inspiration was my father. He was the mayor of Ottawa. I had so many amazing memories, and I learned so much from him, especially as a parent. Like, a lot of it's nuanced. So you're watching. So to me, he was such a great role model. And interestingly, Mike, what he said is, if you want to change the world, Melissa, go into politics or go into journalism, not politics. So that was his first thing to me. So there you go, Mike. I think he was tired of politics at that point. So that was a little bit extra in there.
Yeah. And you said,
I listened to him partly and then went on to do it again.
I was going to say, you said, I'll show you, Dad. I'm going to do them both.
Yeah. Can I just add on to that to say, I'm from a farming family from about an hour north, and I've got 5 sisters, a whole handful of sisters, and then I had a fantastic mom. She passed away a couple of years ago, and she really was. My dad's a lovely guy too, but she really was the driving force behind our family, and just constantly encouraged us. Education, you're going to school, like we at one point had 5 kids, or they had 5 kids in post-secondary education. Like, talk about OSAP and the need for it. But she was just a really clear leader and example and mentor in my life.
The two of you continue to be leaders and mentors in the community. I know you took time away from the celebration at St. George Banquet Hall this morning. Thank you for doing that. We'll let you get back to it, and appreciate you both being here today.
Thank you so much, Mike, for celebrating women in our community.
Yes, happy IWD to all the women that are listening right now. Celebrate each other. Take care.
Thank you both. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Melissa Durrell and Waterloo Mayor Dorothy McCabe. Melissa, I'm sure you know from her work in journalism here in town, plus her role on Waterloo Council, and now, of course, running her own communications company. She will be the keynote speaker at In Full Bloom, part of the International Women's Day Market in Waterloo later today. And, of course, the mayor of the city, Dorothy McCabe, on a 6-woman council in Waterloo. Only 2 of the 8 councillors in Waterloo are men, Hans Roach and Royce Bodley. So we celebrate International Women's Day around our region today, as the day officially is marked on Sunday, but events happening the region round in recognition of and celebration of the women in our lives and who make this community tick. This is the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
You're a beautiful boy with all your little toys. Your eyes have seen the world, though you're only 4 years old. And your tears are screaming, even when you're smiling. Please never be afraid to cry.
I think I'm going to have to beg for your patience, and we will test our tolerance on the show today. It's an All Request Friday, Annoying Songs edition. Listen, I listen. I didn't mean to say listen twice in 3 words, but I do. And it was one of you, in fact, specifically, so you can hold him responsible, Mike, Farwell's Force member number 10, who said, "Do you know what a good theme for All Request Friday would be? Annoying songs." So you asked, I listened, and now we're asking you on this All Request Friday for your most annoying song. You'll hear little bits of them throughout the show today. Maybe they annoy you, maybe they don't. We already played Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba, which is a song I actually like, but Heather, who requested it, did not. Beautiful Boys is what you just heard from Yoko Ono, and that request coming from Deb, the Blue Noser, Farwell's Force member number 298. Oh, Deb, thank you for playing along with the most annoying songs on this All Request Friday. You can still get a request of your own in. We got just a couple of spots left. You can email me, mike@570news.com, or give Dev a call. Let him know the song that you would like to hear. All Request is something we do every Friday. Something else we do every Friday is our Not $1 Million question. We do that around 9:15. Today's question was 20% of Canadians admit to never having cleaned this. And Clinton got the answer before 9:30 this morning. It was your reusable water bottle. So there you go. 1 in 5 of us unlikely to have ever cleaned our reusable water bottle. Fridays, lots of things happen consistently on the show. The Coaches Show with Rangers head coach Jussi Ahokas, that comes up just after 10:30 this morning. Our Friday 4 roundtable will discuss the week's big stories with some invited guests to get some different perspectives. And of course, noon to 1, our final hour together is for Free Phones Friday. In the better late than never category this morning, oh my goodness, this is the third time this week I've done this to myself. I set it up and then I have my computer on mute. In the better late than never category this morning,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9.
How about your Farwell Show 5? We usually do this at the beginning of the show, but so many calls from you that we just took your phone calls, and now we'll get to the 5 things I think you might want to know for today. Number 1, more than a dozen countries are now involved in the latest war in the Middle East. Into its 7th day, Israeli airstrikes have hit the capitals of Iran and Lebanon as the U.S. apparently struck an Iranian drone carrier at sea. In response, Iran has launched new retaliatory attacks against Israel and neighboring countries that host U.S. forces. Number 2, Canada and Japan have signed a new strategic partnership agreement that aims to boost cooperation on defense, energy, trade, and technology. Prime Minister Mark Carney in Tokyo, where he met with Prime Minister Senai Takaichi. The two leaders held a bilateral meeting at Takaichi's office, where Carney highlighted the long-standing relationship between the two countries.
Japan is one of Canada's largest investors. Nearly 3/4 of the vehicles manufactured in Canada are made by Japanese companies. And over 10% of the food imported into Japan comes from Canada. We do much, but we're ready to do much more.
Some of the new agreements outlined today involved closer cooperation on international emergency response, joint Coast Guard exercises, and tackling illegal fishing in the North Pacific. Number 3 on your Farwell Show 5 this morning, the regional chair of Niagara has backed away from a proposal that included possible amalgamations. Bob Gale said in a letter last month that he was beginning consultations on reforms, including potential amalgamations and reducing the number of councillors, saying there are too many elected officials in Niagara and tax increases are too high. But he now says he's heard considerable feedback on his proposal and thinks reducing the size of regional council and some local councils is the right way to go. I hope we're listening here in the region. Number 4, the Kitchener Rangers play a team tonight they have not beaten all season. Elmira's Brady Martin and the Sioux Greyhounds are in town to skate with our Rangers. The Hounds have won all 3 meetings between the clubs this season. Your Harris Law pregame show will get underway at 6:30 right here on your home of Kitchener Rangers hockey, 570 News Radio. Josh Piercy and I getting you ready for the game, bringing you the action from the game, and then sticking around for Rangers talk, taking your calls after the game. And number 5 on your Farwell Show 5 this morning, the Humane Society of Kitchener-Waterloo and Stratford-Perth is hosting the multi-night Pause for Laughs comedy show, PAWS, Pause, in Waterloo and Stratford on Sunday and Monday nights. The shows will be held at the Hampton Inn and Suites on Benjamin Road in Waterloo on March the 8th. That's kind of like St. Jacobs, if you ask me. And the Stratford Golf and Country Club on Romeo Street in Stratford on Monday, March the 9th. Tickets available at kwspHumane.ca. And that is your Farwell Show 5 for this Friday morning, the 6th of March. I'm going to get you an update from the 570 News Center, and then let's talk Motionball. Don't know what it is? Me either, but we'll find out together next on the Mike Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV. I do think that's plenty of that. Randy really understood the assignment, Farwell's Force member number 20. It's your All Request Friday, Annoying Songs edition, and Randy nails it with that one from Billy Ray Cyrus and Achy Breaky Heart. I didn't like it when it was a hit. I don't like it today. I do not like them, Sam I Am. I will not eat your green eggs and achy breaky hearts. Full disclosure, I get a lot of pitches, if you will, on this show. A lot from PR companies. I will not tell a lie about that either. For, you want to bring this person on the show, you want to cover this topic on the show, etc. But truth be told, rarely do I get pitches that blow me away as much as this next pitch did. And I'm so pleased that we were able to arrange time with the guest who suggested it. Her name is Maya Robinson. She's a fourth-year honors kinesiology student at Wilfrid Laurier University, and she is about as involved as I think you will find anyone at her age and stage of life. Maya, good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show.
Hey, Mike. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure. I truly was blown away by the email that you sent and all of the things contained therein. You lead what is called the Motionball chapter at WLU. What is Motionball?
Correct. Yeah, so Motionball, I've been a part of it for 4 years. It's an amazing organized club that's led by students, and what we do is we raise funds and awareness for Special Olympics programming in Canada. So everything that we raise gets donated to the Special Olympics Canada Foundation, and then we also run inclusive events, with our biggest being our Marathon of Sport event, which is coming up on March 21st, which is a day where we coincide Special Olympics athletes from Kitchener-Waterloo area with Laurier students who sign up, in a great full day of sports, and it's really something magical for sure. So very excited to be involved.
How did you first get involved with Special Olympics?
Yeah, so I actually, in my very first year, I received an email. They were looking for volunteers to play in a unified intramural league. So I ended up just on a whim signing up for this, which kind of exposed me a little bit. And I also had a couple friends who were on Laurier's very first Motionball chapter who were in their upper years. So they recruited me, and I had no idea what Motionball was. I joined just, again, to, hang out with my friends and see what it was all about. And it ended up, again, making such a big impact. So I continued to stay involved over the years. And then, again, the more I was involved, I met an amazing man named Steve Singer, who introduced me to the Special Olympics basketball side of things. And I became a certified coach, and now I'm coaching. And yeah, just it's kind of a snowball effect, but wouldn't change it for the world. It's been unreal, and I've met a lot of great people as a result and done some pretty cool things. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of how I've slowly been getting more and more involved over the years.
So what happens, Maya, during a Motionball event?
Yeah, so we run events throughout the year. We had a couple, they were walks in the parks. We meet up on Sundays. We go for a walk around the park, play some activities. But the big one is our Marathon of Sport event, which is very well anticipated. It's every March, end of the year. And what happens at this is that the athletes arrive and we assign them to their team. And then we go through a series of fun. We make an athlete tunnel when all the athletes tunnel into the gym through our arms. It's awesome. And then we go through different stations where we're playing basketball and soccer and dodgeball. And then we have a pizza lunch and a dance party, and it's a really magical day. So in a nutshell, yeah, that's kind of how the day works. And it's one of the best days, self-proclaimed, of the year.
So through your involvement with Special Olympics, you found yourself at an annual general meeting for Special Olympics Canada Foundation. And there was a milestone achieved there in terms of fundraising for Special Olympics.
Yeah, because this year I took over leading the group. This was my first year I was able to attend. However, usually the head of the group gets to attend this meeting every year in Toronto. So it's a 2-day meeting, and what we were able to celebrate was raising in 2025, Motionball across the country raised $2,020,000 to Special Olympics Canada Foundation, which is insane. And we reached over 20 million over the course since the Etherington brothers founded Motionball in 2002. So that was a huge milestone. Yeah, very special celebrating that with the event directors from all across Canada.
That is an insane number, more than $2 million nationally last year for Special Olympics Foundation.
Got it.
So cool. So you have Motionball U at Wilfrid Laurier University. You're the lead of that. How did you get the chapter started? How does this work internal to Laurier?
Yeah, so excuse me. So there are other chapters that run in cities. So there's larger cities. So for example, Motionball Mississauga. So they have different chapters throughout cities, but they decided years ago that they want to try and expand and have chapters on university campuses. So we're one of several across Canada. And what this means for us is I think in my very first year of university, Melissa Pennington was the one who started it up. I guess she heard about Motionball and she contacted them saying she wants to bring this to Laurier. And so, yeah, it just kind of all started from there, where she was able to get support from the national committee to, hire a committee and run these events and have their support throughout all of this. So, yeah, it's really exciting. I know even Nipissing University just started their Motionball this year. So it's becoming a very, very popular thing to have it on university campuses, which is really exciting to see. So, yeah, great way to get involved.
Through your volunteering, Maya, with KW Special Olympics here locally, Motionball, et cetera, the Marathon of Sport coming up, and I know you've participated for some time now, as you've talked about. What have you learned about these athletes that you get to work with?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's just mind-blowing that, like I said, it's one of those things where you show up and you don't know what to expect, and you're meeting all these people. But over the course of the time, being able to learn and grow with these individuals and see the confidence and the ability that grows from these programs is amazing. And that's what sparked my passion for wanting to support these programs, because I think it's so magical and something that everybody should have access to. And it's also one of those things where you show up and you're like, yeah, like I'm gonna, go volunteer with the Special Olympics. I'm really pumped. And I come home and my face hurts from smiling so much. It's such an awesome time. So it's a very, very fun time, but it also is very rewarding and very awesome to build such great relationships and see these individuals grow as people and as athletes, and just such a fostering climate of community, which is, the best part in my opinion.
The Marathon of Sport, you mentioned already, comes up on March the 21st. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Last year at Laurier, this event was able to raise $34,000 for the Special Olympics Canada Foundation, which is phenomenal. Are there ways that we in the community can support your efforts on the Marathon of Sport this year?
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that up. We, if you look up Motionball Laurier, Motionball Laurier, there should be a link to come up that you will be able to click to donate. And we are active on Instagram as well. So we post a lot of fun updates and some trends and information that helps guide you to how you can be involved and how you can support us. So our Instagram is Motionball_Laurier. So that's another great way to find a lot of information about how you can support us.
All right. I'm going to follow that right away. Motionball_Laurier on Instagram. The Marathon of Sport comes up on March the 21st. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. You, Maya, as I mentioned at the outset, fourth year honors kinesiology at Laurier. What are your plans? Where does Maya Robinson go from here? You're going to be all this exposure to Special Olympians has got to be pretty special for you too.
Oh, of course. And that's something that, regardless of where I go, I want to continue to be involved with. Yeah, next year I'm planning to do a Master's of Science. So I'm doing some undergraduate research right now, which is really exciting. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to continue doing another couple of years of research wherever that may be. However, regardless of where I go, if I, remain at Laurier, I want to continue to lead this group. But if I go elsewhere, I'm hoping to join either the city chapter or the university chapter. But I just think, and even creating more opportunity again for programming with athletes, I'm going to obviously advocate for that wherever I go and hope that we can continue to get athletes involved in not only basketball, but in just, again, being active members of their community in any sport, in any capacity possible.
I was so happy to read your email. I'm so glad that you reached out so that we could share this story with our audience this morning. Again, on Instagram, and I'm going to follow it as soon as we go to this commercial break. Motionball_Laurier. Maya, thanks for everything you're doing. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And thanks for joining the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for covering this, and I'm so happy to share it with everyone. It's something that I think everybody should be involved with.
I hope the Marathon of Sport is a smashing success on the 21st. Thanks again for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
Maya Robinson joins us, a fourth-year honors kinesiology student at Wilfrid Laurier University who leads the Motionball U for University chapter at WLU. And again, I just wanted to say how impressed I was amongst all of the pitches that land in my inbox on a daily basis. This one really stood out. And I like to joke, I've shared this with you recently. My best buddy and I have an ongoing little joke right now. I just give him a hard time. Well, I say things deliberately provocative, like, oh, young people today, oh, these kids today, just to get him riled up because he's easy to get riled up. And that's what you do with your best friend, right? You get them riled up on purpose because that's what friends do for friends. Anyway, this is inspirational and just love to read about the volunteering with KW Special Olympics, leading this Motionball chapter, the upcoming Marathon of Sport on March the 21st, young people doing really cool things. And there are many. There are absolutely many. There's no doubt about that. I can be provocative with my buddy and shoot my big mouth off for fun from time to time. But this is the kind of stuff that, just really gives me a great deal of hope for the future. And look, we are a post-secondary community. These are people on our campuses today doing this great stuff. And even though Wilfrid Laurier University is going to be the epicenter in less than 2 weeks of that ding-dang party again, right? Psst. Schools change reading week and then the St. Paddy's Day party won't happen. But Maya Robinson is going to be getting ready for the Marathon of Sport event on March the 21st and hopefully raising more than $34,000 this year for the Special Olympics Canada Foundation. When I scheduled this conversation with Maya this morning to hopefully inspire you like she inspired me with her email, I thought this probably qualifies as your live version today of the Not Everybody is a Jackwagon segment, right? I like to do that once a day on the show, just to remind you, because we get fired up sometimes. We're pretty fired up this week about, the new cart-based waste collection system here in the region. But yeah, they're trying. Even those people out there trying to collect our bins because we didn't put our bins at the end of the driveway the right way and all that stuff, they're not jackwagons, right? But I'm not going to make this the live version of Not Everybody is a Jackwagon. I'm going to share another story. My goodness, it's like the happy half hour on the Farwell show. That's coming up. Stay with me. It's 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Here we go.
Can we even call this a song? Like, I really think we're pushing it if we describe the hamster dance song as an actual song. And perhaps we have a winner as most annoying. Fittingly, he who requested this annoying song is the fellow who came up with the idea of the theme for our All Request Friday this week. That would be Mike, Farwell's Force member number 10, who wanted to hear Hampton the Hamster singing. Well, again, I'm not even going to call that singing, whatever that nonsense was. That's the hamster dance song, along with Mike, Farwell's Force member number 10. Ron, Farwell's Force member number 32, wanted to hear that. I'm just going to say that. It was that nonsense that you just heard. My apologies, but please do bear with me. For once, the music on this show will be more annoying than the host. So this is my kind of day on the Farwell Show. Something that I promised you at the beginning of this calendar year I would do every day. This related back to around the holiday time, and we're all talking about, like, why can't every day be like Christmas? And I thought, I'm not going to be that cheesy. and then in July be telling you a story to remind you that, every day could be like Christmas. But in keeping with sort of how we operate on this show, and when we encounter people who behave badly, we refer to them as jackwagons. So instead of, why can't every day be like Christmas? We just have a story every day about somebody who is not a jackwagon. I call it, fittingly enough, not everybody is a jackwagon. And I've decided, I know it's March now, so it took me 2 months and a bit to come to this conclusion, but we're going to do it every day at 10:20-ish. It's 10:23 right now. I mean, close enough for rock and roll, right? But every day around 10:20, you can set your clock by it. You can make sure you come by and say, I want to hear that good story on the Farwell show. Because, talk radio is for angry people that complain about things like garbage collection. Not everybody is a jackwagon. Every day, 10:20, put a little smile on your face. Have you heard about Punch the Monkey? No. I don't mean punching monkeys. This is a good story. Punch is the name given to the little monkey who sadly was completely rejected by his pack, including his mother. Now, people who know monkeys far better than I suggest that mom was just exhausted when Punch came along, and so she just shunned him. And then the rest of the monkeys shunned Punch as well. And he became a viral sensation because the zookeepers in Japan, where Punch lives, gave him a little orangutan stuffy that Punch would then cling to for comfort because he was shunned by the rest of the monkey family. And he became a viral sensation, and people were checking in online to see how Punch was doing. Is he okay? Well, guess what? He's better than okay. He was recently seen climbing on the back of another monkey, sitting with the adults, and sometimes even getting groomed or hugged. So Punch is being more and more welcomed in his little monkey community. And the zookeepers say helping Punch learn the rules by getting comfort from that stuffed orangutan and now being accepted as a member is the most important task for those at the zoo. Punch became so popular after images of him and his toy showed up online last month. The zoo had to set rules to make sure that the visitors were keeping their visits to 10 minutes or less so they wouldn't stress out all of the other monkeys. But everything is coming around. Punch the monkey is doing well, and he's even outgrown that little stuffy that he had. When it first started showing up online, Punch and his little stuffed orangutan, the stuffy was larger than Punch the monkey, but Punch is growing quickly. He needs the stuffed orangutan less and less, and he is being welcomed into his community of monkeys at that zoo in Japan. So we're almost completing the happy ending of Punch the monkey's story. Cute as a button, this thing. I mean, sometimes I think we should get monkeys like that to run things around here. They could probably figure out a better garbage collection system. Did I change the nature of not everybody is a jackwagon? I hope not. Every day at 10:20-ish here on the show, you will get a story to remind you that not everybody is a jackwagon. Coming up on your 10:30 update from the 570 News Center, in the next 30 minutes, it's a community sock hop in support of the Down Syndrome Society. I'll tell you about that before 11. And after this update, Friday morning, game day, baby. And the Kitchener Rangers play tonight, a team that they have not yet beat this season. Rangers head coach UC Ahokas joins us next for the Coaches Show on the Mike Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV. We got to hear that song 8 times last Friday night at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium when the Rangers scored a season-high 8 goals. That, of course, is the team's goal song, and we hear it every Friday morning at this time when we welcome the head coach of the Kitchener Rangers to the show for the weekly Coaches Show. Jussi Ahokas joins us. Good morning, Jussi.
Good morning.
Wednesday night in Sarnia. We're getting late in the season. Your team has made the playoffs. Sarnia's struggling to get there. And maybe not the best game overall. Just makes me think, like, how do you keep your team focused on every game at this time of the season when there might be a temptation to look ahead?
No, you have to keep playing to our structure and keep playing. Yeah, we weren't our best at all Wednesday, but we got the job done. And once in a while in a long season, you don't always get the best out of the players. But, yeah, we want to be. But then again, today it's a different game, totally different game. So we have to be ready. But it's day-to-day work and going one game at a time, not going too far ahead.
When you say, over the course of a season, you're not always going to get the best game. And, of course, I think we all understand that. But as a coach, that's probably part of how you have to manage players, right? Like, you can't go into the dressing room and kick Gatorade containers over all the time or flip tables or anything else that might happen.
No, you have to, let's say, pick your spots.
Right.
Yeah, pick your spots. And no, at this point of the season, that's not it. We should have our structure and how we want to play and all those things. And now it's more just getting details and just implementing that the habits are right and you're doing the right things that you can win games.
We talked about Cameron Arquette before the game on Wednesday, and then he goes out and puts up 4 points in your win over the Sarnia Sting. What is it about Arquette as a player that gives you the confidence, you see, that you can put him anywhere in the lineup and he's going to give you something worthwhile?
No, he works. And then he's a smart player. Like, he reads the game well, and when you work, he competes usually. Then he plays well. And yesterday, last game, he could have had even more points. He had plenty of chances, but he only wanted to score one, I guess.
This weekend, 2 big games, really, with the Sioux tonight and the Spitfires on Sunday. Does this maybe help the team focus on these, immediate games and those details? Because you're going to have to be on point to win these games.
Yeah, I think so. Of course, they're both top teams, really good. They play well, especially Sioux, great goaltending. They have good. They're good at their rushes. So Sioux. So we have to be dialed in, and we have to be defending well. And it is for us. It's we see again where we are and how we play, and these are good games. 7 games left, but for sure these two are really good ones. But then again, like I said, all the same in games, you need to get the same 2 points. So you need to be ready for them all.
Did you keep an eye at all last night on that Barrie-Brantford game, kind of pulling for the Barrie Colts to keep Brantford behind you in the standings?
No, it doesn't really. You have to. Of course, it's are you number 1 or number 2, but it's more of a. For me, it's we have to. You play yourself that good that you're in this position, and then we'll see after the 68 games, and then we see where we are, and then starts playoffs.
Final meeting against the Sioux this regular season tonight on your home ice. You haven't been able to beat them yet this season. Maybe a little bit of revenge on the mind. Will that help motivate guys?
Yeah, and well, of course, we haven't played them for a very long time, and kind of had a different team during that time when we played them. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we play against them. And they've been tight, all of them tight games, and we have to just find a way to score. Like they've been low scoring games, all of them before. So we have to get to the net and get traffic there, and all in all, be in our game, and we'll see. Well, when the puck drops, we'll see how the boys are going.
It's going to be a good one tonight for sure. Always looking forward to it. We'll see you at the rink, Jussi. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
UC Ahokus is the head coach of the Kitchener Rangers. He joins us every Friday morning, 10:30, for your weekly coaches show. And this Ranger team is rolling right along right now, 6 consecutive wins. And they've got points they're up to 10 straight games now with points for your Kitchener Rangers. 1 point out of first place overall in the Ontario Hockey League. The reason Kitchener is 1 point out of first place is because of those darn Barrie Colts. Like, what do we ask of you, Barrie? Beat the Brantford Bulldogs, right? One of 4 games in the OHL last night. The Brantford Bulldogs beat the Barrie Colts by a score of 5-3. So Brantford, with 92 points, remains one ahead now of the Kitchener Rangers, 91 points in the overall, 93 for Brantford, 92 for Kitchener, the overall standings. Other games last night in Niagara, the Saginaw Spirit scored 4 times in the third period, coming back from 4-0 down, and then won it in a shootout. Saginaw 5, Niagara 4. In North Bay, the Oshawa Generals pick up a victory over the Battalion. North Bay's been playing very well, particularly at home, but Oshawa, a 4-3 win in North Bay last night. And how about this? Scoreless through 60 minutes in Peterborough between the Petes and the Ottawa 67s. And then it's Brennan Faulkner in overtime. The Petes beat Ottawa by a score of 1-0. So those are your 4 games from last night. Brantford 5-3 over Barrie, Saginaw 5-4 over Niagara, Oshawa 4-3 over North Bay, and Peterborough 1-0 over the Ottawa 67s. Tonight there are 8 games in the OHL, including our game at home to the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Brantford will be at home to those Saginaw Spirit who came from behind to win last night. The Guelph Storm home to the Owen Sound Attack. Would it be terrible if I said, go Guelph, go? Because Kitchener is likely to match up with either Owen Sound or Saginaw in the first round of the playoffs. And I wouldn't mind if it was Owen Sound. Slightly shorter trip. I'm just being selfish. London is home to the Erie Otters tonight as well. So 8 games besides our game here in Kitchener. The 7 others will keep you up to date on our out-of-town scoreboard through the night. And when we look at the statistical leaders in the OHL, we find Kitchener Rangers all over the leading categories this year, which is, it's a lot of fun, quite frankly. Jack Pridham and Dylan Edwards have 81 points apiece on the season, and that has them sitting 4th and 5th in league scoring. Oh, and who's in 6th? Christian Humphreys. All 3 players with 81 points. The league leader in points is Nikita Klepoff of the Saginaw Spirit with 87. So all 3 of Pridham, Edwards, and Humphreys are 6 points behind Nikita Klepoff for the OHL lead in points. The Rangers are up against a couple of really good teams this weekend, and arguably the best goalie in the league in Carter George tonight, so points might be hard to come by. But we're keeping our eyes on the scoring race. 3 Rangers in the top 10 as we enter this weekend with 7 games to go in the regular season. And just for the record, the Rangers have never finished with 3 skaters in the top 10 of league scoring. The Rangers have also never had back-to-back 100-point seasons, and they are 8 points away from a second consecutive 100-point season. 14 points available in 7 games. They've got 8 points. If they can, what does that mean? Win 4 of the 7? They'll get to 100 points first time ever, back-to-back. Interesting stuff. So 3 Rangers in the top 10 scoring, all 3 of them 6 points out of the lead. Goals in the league this year. Again, you see Kitchener Rangers right near the top. Merrick Van Acker of the Brantford Bulldogs leads the league in goals scored with 42. Then Jack Pridham of your Kitchener Rangers with 39. Dylan Edwards of your Kitchener Rangers with 37 goals scored. We'll keep our eyes on that. And we will also keep our eyes on the overall assist lead because Christian Humphreys has 55 assists. Jake O'Brien of the Brantford Bulldogs also with 55 assists. Jason Akeson, if memory serves, was, in fact, remains the he set a record for assists in a season for the Kitchener Rangers and won that race, if you will, back in 07, 08. I'm going off the top of my head here, but I'm almost positive it was Atkinson. And that's the last time I remember a Ranger being the assist leader for a season. So Christian Humphreys right there with the top of the league when it comes to assists, tied with Jake O'Brien of the Brantford Bulldogs. And those overall standings, as I mentioned, Kitchener 1 point behind Brantford for first overall in the league. But coming into the weekend's action, Kitchener has a 7-point lead on both Windsor and Flint for first place in the Western Conference. Windsor does have a game in hand, but 7 points ahead. And they're going to meet each other, Windsor and Kitchener, on Sunday afternoon in Windsor. So Kitchener trying to win the Western Conference and right there knocking on the door of the overall league lead. 92 points for the Rangers, 93 for the Brantford Bulldogs. We have all of the coverage you need tonight for Rangers hockey, of course. This is your home of Kitchener Rangers hockey. We'll start, Josh Piercy and I, with your Harris Law pregame show at 6:30. And then we'll bring you all of the action between the Rangers and the Hounds. Brady Martin, the Elmira boy, of course, skates with those Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Jordan Sharon, the Air boy, skates with those Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. So lots of local action to keep our eyes on tonight. And then after the game, Josh Piercy and I stick around late to take your calls on Rangers Talk. That's how we do it on your home of Kitchener Rangers hockey from 6:30 right through 11 p.m. All Kitchener Rangers all the time. A quick break. When we come back, the KW Titans will be on the court Sunday. We head to Windsor. The Titans take over the Memorial Auditorium, and it's a community sock hop in support of the Down Syndrome Society. That conversation is coming up on the Mike Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Spring was never waiting for us, girl. It ran one step ahead as we followed in the dance. Between the parted pages and we're pressed in love's hot-fevered iron like a striped pair of pants.
A little bit of Richard Harris and MacArthur Park on this All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. Suzanne wanted to hear that one. You make the request, we play it, even if it's an annoying song. That's the theme this Friday on your All Request Friday. Rangers at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium tonight. On Sunday afternoon, the KW Titans will take over the Odd as they host the Lake Erie Jackals, the co-owner of the Titans. David Schooley joins us on the show this morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Mike.
And along with David is the coach, Cliff Clink-Scales. Coach Cliff, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Let me start with you, Coach Cliff. Back-to-back losses, but a combined 4 points in those losses. So close, but 2 losses nonetheless. How do you get the team to break out of that this weekend against Lake Erie?
We just bounced back on Wednesday night on the road against Windsor. Another gutsy, tough road win. We wound up winning 7. Those 2 games, it's that time of the year, Mike, when we get to the end of the season, second half of the season. Teams is getting healthy, players is figuring out the league. So we got 9 games left. We just trying to be consistent, stay healthy as possible. But those 2 games it come down possessions, being disciplined, being fundamentally sound. And for those 2 losses that was tough like that, just some things we got to clean up, and that's all starting practice.
The Montreal Tundra have snuck their way into the top of the standings there with the Sudbury 5. The 3 of you, Sudbury, Montreal, and your Titans, Coach Cliff, neck and neck. Does that help keep the players focused as you head down the stretch here?
Oh, it should. If you're watching the standards, I'm the type of coach where I don't worry about the standards. I got to worry about what we doing each day. And for us, it's the second half of the season. approach and practice with a purpose, and making sure we get the best out of these next 9 games so we can go into the playoffs playing our best basketball.
David, Sunday's game is the Community Sock Hop in recognition of World Down Syndrome Day coming up later this month.
Yes, it's exciting, right? We're going to do it's Crazy Socks Day, right? Mismatched socks. We're going to do a sock toss for Hockey Helps the Homeless. So everybody brings some socks out. It's going to be an exciting game. We got some really cool stuff going for halftime. We've got the Phantom Sharks from Shark Sport. We've got Special Olympics basketball at halftime as well.
And you're going to have, as usual, a number of organizations there who help support people with special needs in our community, because I know, David, how important it is for you, for this Titans team to be so invested in the community.
I mean, every game has at least one purpose. This one, we have 13 organizations that support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It's World Down Syndrome Day on March the 21st. So, every game is a celebration. Every game has a purpose, and Cliff takes care of things on the court. I have to a big shout out to Dr. Nick Bailey at MSK. Sudbury was a tough game on the weekend, and one of my players ruptured his Achilles, and Dr. Nick fixed him up yesterday morning. So we're a big shout out to him. We got a doubleheader coming next weekend again too. So a lot of stuff going on at the Titans.
Certainly.
And I'm going to be at the Rangers game tonight.
Oh, even better. I hope you know what, David, you got to do. You got to come by the David Schooley broadcast booth. You know that, right?
I might pop by. If you need a little help there, I might just pop by and see you. Yeah, I think Angela Murdoch, one of our star community development people, she and I are going to be on Sean, talking to Sean Farwell tonight about Sunday's game.
Do you have a pair of silly socks to wear to the game on Sunday, David?
I do. I definitely do. I have to tell you, though, Mike, the theme today is, I'm sitting here and my toes tapping with this great music you're playing this morning.
You like the annoying songs. It's good to know. Coach Cliff, I've seen, your guys, this team, I get the sense that, yes, of course you want to win basketball games, and that's the number one thing, but you're ensuring, too, that these young men are developing as humans, and they're really committed to this community. I see them engaging with young people at the games. I see them, playing games against, and you can't seem to beat that team of kids in our community with developmental disabilities, like
Adults in Motion.
Yeah, Adults in Motion. I was trying to remember the organization, but Coach Cliff, these guys are they really care, don't they?
Yes, we all know at some point the basketball stop bouncing. So first and foremost, we want to recruit guys with high character, and 2, we want to get out in the community, engage with our fans, engage with these kids, and let them know anything is possible to chase your dreams. It's not only about sports. That's with everything in life. We need good lawyers. We need good cops. We need good doctors. We need good everything in this world. So anytime you could touch a kid or make them smile, some of these guys go a long way with these kids, even talking to them on social media. And, you can lighten up a kid day and just let them know you're there for them and just keep working hard and make sure they get good education.
Sunday, it's a 3:00 tip against Lake Erie. You got that win in Windsor, Coach Cliff. What do you do to get another win on Sunday afternoon?
Oh, they have a very gutsy team that plays hard. We're going to have to match the intensity. Last time they was here, I believe they came in here and stole one from us. So that's the plan. Make sure we get that one back. In our league, you got to win the home games. And this is around the time where guys got to put up and shut up. So our best players got to step up and play some good basketball. And Ty Gross been doing that. Todd Pickett been doing that. And Antoine Mason starting to turn the corner and look like the guy we thought he was. And our bench, man, we only as good as our bench. We got Ferg, and we picked up a new guy because Nick Goff went down. So shout out to Jamiron Jackson, is a guy in this league that was a good scorer, and he's going to help us with some firepower off the bench. So right now it's all about us, what we do each day, just trying to be 1% better.
We look forward to Sunday for sure. Coach Cliff, thank you for this. David, good to talk to you as well.
Yes, Mike, you know what? I will see you tonight. And you know what? We're trying to bring all the championships back to Kitchener this year. You know, the Rangers are just killing it, and we are close. We are close. We're bringing you a championship this year, Mike.
Love to hear it.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Everybody come out this Sunday, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we need you on Sunday.
Odds.
Bring your socks.
Bring your Philly
socks.
socks. I'll bet anybody that's coming to the game, Antoine Mason has the best socks.
Okay, we're going to watch for that. Okay.
All right.
Good stuff, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for having us.
Cliff Clinkscales is Coach Cliff, David Schooley, co-owner, KW Titans. It's the community sock hop game against Lake Erie on Sunday. This is the Mike Farwell Show. 570 News Radio and Rogers TV. I don't know what Devin has a hard time with All Request Fridays. We love the guy. The Schmenke brothers are supposed to be in there somewhere with cabbage rolls and coffee, right? That's okay. It's the annoying songs edition. And the best part is Devin just spared us. But I like me some Schmenke brothers. I was kind of looking forward to that one. Shockingly, if it's got anything to do with Bavaria or the accordion, you know that Kyle requested it. All Request Friday, annoying songs edition, as we welcome our Friday 4 Roundtable to the program for another week. Something else we do every Friday. We've got Julie Callflesh with us, who is the Director of Fundraising and Communications for Sanguine Health Center. Julie, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Yvonne Fernandez is with us today, President of the Dune Pioneer Park Community Association. Yvonne, good morning to you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And Phil Molto, a very optimistic young man. I can't understand the Maple Leafs gear in the background, but I'll just leave that there. Phil spent about 3 decades in local media, also ran for Kitchener Council, and Phil is with us today, too. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning.
All right, let's dive in because we have got some meat on the bone today. And we will start with the U.S. military operation in Iran and Canada's response to it, which to my ears has kind of oscillated. It's been a bit of a moving target, Canada's response. But Julie, I'll start with you. Thoughts on the U.S. military operation for starters and how Canada has responded?
Well, epic fury or whatever is, it's concerning and not a surprise. I mean, nothing is a surprise because Trump tends to tell us his plans and shout them out loud. It's concerning for what is to come, how Iran will respond in North America. Will there be attacks on this soil to respond to what's happening over there, which is a common tactic with them. So, and it's all very ugly and questionable. In terms of Carney's response, I think that I think of things often through the lens of my own career as a communicator and working with government and elected officials. And sometimes you have to really be careful in what you say. And I think with President Trump, you have to be very careful in what you say. Carney came out with a very powerful speech in January at the World Economic Summit, and everyone was thrilled with it. I think most people were happy with it. Trump was not. And, in this particular situation, I think Carney and his people chose their words very carefully. They support the removal of this regime, but they, don't go so far as to say that they support the war itself. So, it'll be interesting to see in the days to come. I agree with you. It kind of seems to go back and forth, or, different things have been said. But yeah, overall, it's very concerning and serious. We need to be looking at this very seriously.
What do you think of the most recent? I know Prime Minister Carney acknowledged it's a hypothetical, but that Canada may at one point, depending on how this goes, be involved in this military operation?
I don't really see how we can in a way that is very large scale, but very concerning. I mean, that, like, if we're talking about boots on the ground, then we're talking about, like, I'm a mom of teenagers. Like, I don't want to see this for a variety of reasons. I don't want anyone to have to die in a war that's being fought for powerful men. I don't. I think this, I mean, honestly, I think that this war is BS. I think all the wars are BS, and they're more about people's egos and insecurities than they are about anything else. We're not protecting life. We're not protecting people's rights. We're taking all of that away from the folks who are suffering the most with this. So I mean, I have a lot of feelings about that, and I hope we don't come to that. I worry about an attack on our soil that impacts, or the Americans, that impacts something like their water supply. Then we could be in trouble here in Canada, right? So there's a lot to consider with it. Again, we've talked about this before. It's hard not to feel like a crazy paranoid person when you look at the news every day. But
I think that
that's
point,
where we're at.
That point on an attack on North American soil is a really interesting one, just based on something I heard from somebody that knows way more about military operations than I do. But his take on this was, the longer Iran can essentially hang on, they can be developing, if they don't have it today, they can be developing nuclear capability if they can hang on here. So the speed with which this operation can go from the United States' side is paramount here. Again, this is somebody that's got far more experience, but I don't think that's too far-fetched, obviously, by what you just said there, Julie. Yvonne, your take on the war that we are into day 7 of.
I know I agree with Julie. It's very, very concerning, and having family in the Netherlands and Europe, in Europe generally, I worry a lot about the effects on them. But I just don't want to even enter the thought of us joining in on this war, because I think that there is no good outcome at all. There's no good outcome in any war. There's unnecessary death. And I think it's about ego and power, and it has nothing to do with protecting boundaries. This morning, Trump said, Cuba is next for a takeover, and that I hardly want to say man, because I don't even know what he is. He's a crazy person. I just think he just talks off the top of his head, doesn't really think about what he's doing. And that's what concerns me about this attack on Iran. Yes, there was a terrible regime in Iran. Yes, there was a threat to global safety, maybe. I just don't think, we don't even have all of the proper information. And just to backstep a little bit, the Congress didn't support, or he didn't even go to Congress. So I'm glad that Mark Carney has taken a bit of a cautious approach in his thoughts and his words around what this war means and how Canada will be affected.
Phil Molto.
There is so much to this. And looking back at the history and they ask the question, why are we at this position today globally? Like, why did we get drawn into Afghanistan, Kuwait? Everybody said, don't go into Afghanistan. The Brits should never have gone into Afghanistan. The Russians should not have. America and everybody else got drawn into. We get drawn into Iraq. You get rid of one person, you put the Shah, and then the Shah gets overthrown. Then you're dealing with the Ayatollah Khomeini. Then you're dealing with another regime. America has a very bad track record of getting involved, and not how, but why they get involved. McCarthy era, they were so paranoid about communism in Central and South America. So let's put dictators in who then become drug dealers, and now you got to go back in. This picking for oil or drug or anti-communism. Why they go in and they stir things up, and then they have to pay the price, and then we get drawn into it years later. I remember in Kuwait we got in there, and anybody a friend of mine, she lost a son in Afghanistan. Why are we even there? You remember also the other aspects is we have people who live here who are of these descents. We always think, we're in war with Iran, and now the Turks are involved. People in this community are Iranian, they're Iraqi, they're from Jordan, they're from Gaza. So when we talk about this as Canadians, you have to remember, in this community of Kitchener-Waterloo are people who are from there. They have family there. So when you talk about, oh, they've hit this city or this place is getting bombed, people in this community are getting messages that is their family's home that just got hit, their home, their home cities and stuff. So to me, it's just very dark to go back, and it always comes down to guns, bombs, planes, missiles, and you look at what the Americans are now telling. How much does this cost them? And I hate to use the word financially, but they can't afford this. But they got rid of Obamacare, they got rid of other social assistance, but they've always got money for missiles to go and attack a country that they've been there a few times already. And when this is all done, it's not done because there's going to be anger. There's going to be resentment for 5 years, 20 years, 50 years. This anger is still going to be there towards the United States and those that got involved. Why are we there? Is it always come down to oil? When, as our Canadian general said, who led the UN forces in Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, there was no oil there. So America didn't show up like they did for Kuwait and everything else. When there's oil involved in the Gulf, America throws every ship they've got at it. If there's no oil, if there's no special interest like oil or communism threat or a threat of another regime that they can't control, then that's what decides it. And for the rest of us to then follow, I gotta say kudos to places like Spain to say, you know what, we're not getting drawn into this. Greece with Cyprus and stuff, you're pulling people and you're throwing stuff at them to try and draw them in. You're throwing bait at them to try and draw them into. And I think people should say, you started this, you finish it. We're not getting drawn in again. We've been here every 10 years. We're drawn to another one where everybody feels obligated as NATO, UN, EU to draw in. And maybe we're just tired of it.
Phil Molto, Julie Callflesh, and Yvonne Fernandez are with us on the Friday 4 Roundtable this morning. Big stories going on around the world, one much closer to home. We saw students walk out of classes this past Wednesday morning in protest of changes to OSAP. Are they making a good case? We'll talk about it with our roundtable as we continue on the Mike Farwell Show this morning. It's your Friday 4 on 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain,
I really like our listener George, 00 George, Farwell's Force member number, but we're supposed to be playing annoying songs today on All Request Friday, and George requested Hey Jude. I think George and I just became unfriendly towards one another. This is a fantastic song. Disagree, George. Disagree, but nonetheless, it's your choice on All Request Friday. Fridays also mean our Friday 4 Roundtable. We have Yvonne Fernandez, Phil Molto, and Julie Callflesh with us. Yvonne, I'll turn to you for the first thoughts on this one, and this one is the changes Ontario is making to OSAP and the students' response to it. What do you make of this?
So my knee-jerk reaction was, hey guys, you're at the end of your semester. Most of you should be working on your finals, studying for exams, putting in your papers. Yes, the right to protest is a good thing. We need to let politicians, government know how we feel. I just think the timing is a little bit foolish on their part. But that said, I would like to have the universities and colleges. We know Conestoga College had quite a nice little nest egg. Take a look at your administration, and maybe some of the high wages and salaries that you're paying your administration should be being used towards tuition assistance. And I never begrudge professors for what they make. I think many of them have studied for decades and do incredible research in our community and broader community. Taking a look at the ratio, 75 to 25%, 25% grant, 75% paybackable. What's the timeline on that? What are we talking about? 2 years after you graduate, 5 years after you graduate, what's the interest rate? I think there's some missing pieces in information there. Um, but so you've sent your message to the provincial government. What are the next steps? Are they listening? Well, that's questionable. And what are the next steps? So I think a little bit more information about what this actually is going to mean would be helpful to the students and probably to families who are struggling to put their kids through post-secondary education.
To your point on those salaries, we had a University of Waterloo professor on the show even before this, just talking about the funding crunch in post-secondary. And he suggested anybody starting at $100,000, a 1% reduction. So if you're making 100,000, just 1,000 back, 200, 300, 400, et cetera, just to put some money back into the system where it could be directed elsewhere. But anyway, that didn't gain much traction, but I certainly liked the idea. Phil, over to you.
It's interesting how people have also looked at this from different eras. Like, the people, I think I've heard you earlier in the week talk to people. It's like, well, back in 1976, I had a job and I paid my way and I paid for this. Economics have changed where students can't afford to make enough money over the summer to pay rent to go to school, let alone all the tuition, books, all the other fees. And I guess for me, underlying all this was the comments by the premier about, reference basket weaving courses, how there seems to be money. We got money to train people who wear, if you wear construction boots or Doc Martens, and, we're always going to have funding for you. But if you're the basket weaving people with the BAs and stuff, referring to some levels of education of some types as fluff. Education is education. I've learned to appreciate that through years of work. There's some people doing a job, and that's not what their training was in post-secondary, but that's where they ended up. So I think we can never underestimate the value of any post-secondary education, whether it's a community college, university level, where it's a trade, whether it's a general business or general arts degree that leads somebody somewhere in life. I think we all benefit, as we've seen by the current world situation, with an educated population. Every country that has a generally well-educated population is a very well-off country. So I think we need to make this available, but it's also the financing. Like, at what point do the banks make a huge money off people trying to get an education to make everybody's life better, not just their own? So I think we need to go back to the days of a student loan was a much lower rate. Yeah, you have to pay it off, and yes, it's a loan, not a grant, but it'll be possible for you to pay it over in 10 years. It's not going to be a mortgage. Your student loan shouldn't be a mortgage. It should be a loan, get you through school to get you going in life and benefit everybody.
Thinking on that point Yvonne made about administration, salaries, et cetera. Didn't the big banks just report quarterly earnings a couple of weeks ago? I'm sure we could find some money in there. But anyway, I'll leave that aside. Julie, your thoughts?
Well, there's money out there. It's just there are certain people hoarding that money. So, I mean, this is another symptom of what will contribute to an unhealthy economy. If we don't have governments that invest and fund in the essentials, which are healthcare, housing, and education, we are cooked. Right now, we are in a situation where average tuition is about $8,500 a year. That could be as high as $15,000. Depending on the program. And students are looking at, on average, I think it's around $28,000 in debt by the time they graduate. We're creating highly skilled people who are starting their lives in a massive amount of debt. And we're taking away resources and tools to help them get out of that. So how does that contribute to cost of living? And how does that contribute to housing, homelessness, poverty levels? It's all connected. And we need to choose carefully when we're choosing our governments to be able to ensure that they're focusing on the essentials. A healthy population will create a healthy economy and a healthy province for us, world for us. So, I think that the students protesting during exams is a really good point, Yvonne, but it speaks to how important this is. We have a lot of students here who are barely hanging on. I can tell you in our services at Sanguine, we see students come out sometimes to access food. We know the food banks are seeing that. because it's different. Think about how much it costs to go to university when back in the day when we went, you know? Think about how much it costs to buy a house and a car. Everything is so much more expensive. The things that were automatic for us are not automatic for our children's generation. And it's about choices. It's about the choices that our government is making.
We could fund healthcare, or we could build a $2.2 billion convention center in I mean, he's going to build an island to build the convention center on anyway. Interesting points all around. Julie Callflesh, Yvonne Fernandez, and Phil Molto are with us on the Friday 4 Roundtable this morning. I have to get you an update from the 570 News Center. And then it is the story that has quite frankly dominated conversation on this radio station all week. I'm going to do my very best because I've had plenty of opportunity to speak on this. I can't wait to hear what our guests have to say, and maybe they can teach me something about the cart-based waste collection system that we are implementing with a few bumps in the road this week in Waterloo region. I look forward to what our guests have to say about it, and you can enjoy listening to it with me as we continue our Friday 4 Roundtable on the Mike Farwell Show this morning, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
With me, oh, tiptoe from the garden, by the garden, on the willow tree, and tiptoe through the tulips with me.
You had to know this one was coming on your All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. I love the idea of tiptoeing through some tulips. I don't know that I need to do it with Tiny Tim singing along the way, but both Mark and Zoltan wanted to hear that one on your All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. Phil Molto joins our Friday 4 Roundtable this morning. Phil spent about 3 decades working in local media. Now he's just the, what do you call yourself? Grumpy Phil.
Grumpy Phil.
Grumpy Phil. Julie Callflesh is with us, not a grumpy bone in her body. She's the Director of Fundraising and Communications for Sanguine Health Center. And Yvonne Fernandez is the President of the Dune Pioneer Park Community Association. I promised before the news update, and I'm going to keep that promise because I've had so much time to talk about this. I'm as frustrated as all get out, and that's all I will say at this point. We're rolling out a new waste collection system in the region, Grumpy Phil. What's your take on how things are going so far?
You know, I think all of us here have got friends, both at, municipal, councils, both the city and the region, and they just can't get a break. I mean, from the traffic cameras to roundabouts to water, everything that it's like, here, we're going to roll this out. They couldn't have done a better job. I mean, there was information in the mailbox, on the internet, malls, that you go to city halls. Everybody knew what was going to happen. But it didn't happen. I'm one of those people like, last night we've got it all sorted out exactly like they say. Garbage is still not picked up. Like when we roll out something, you've got it all, a plan that just can't fail, and it fails. You feel sorry for them because you can only plan it so much. You don't have a trial run. They can't have 3 weeks of let's practice this with everybody's bins. It's got to work or not work. And when it doesn't work, when you throw that switch and the lights don't come on, that's a heartbreaker for everybody involved in that project. And now the damage control starts, and the social media, like what's wrong with you people? Don't you know what you're? It's a tough one. I feel sorry for them because they've done all the work leading up to it, and it just didn't happen.
So, just to be clear, then, am I hearing you correctly that it's my fault? Right, they communicated it, and if I didn't get the message, no, but I'm being sincere. I mean, poking a little fun, but really, the residents clearly were not paying attention.
Well, everywhere I went, they dropped the bins off. There was information on there. There was mail stuff dropped off in our mailbox. Everyone on social Facebook, the region had it everywhere. And people put their bins out. Like my street, all the bins are out exactly like they should be. The old bins are gone. The new bins are all lined up. The trucks just never showed up. So somewhere the plan didn't come through fruition.
Yeah.
Much like a 1983 Toronto Maple Leaf power play, Isle of Brady. It just you thought it was going to work, yeah, it just didn't happen.
I'm led to believe those trucks didn't make it to your neighborhood because they've been stuck in the neighborhoods where people did not put those bins out correctly. But Julie, I'll bring it over to you for thoughts on the bumpy start to the new system.
So waste management is not one of my chores within the household, so I wasn't directly impacted by it, but I think it went fairly smoothly here. I didn't hear a whole lot from our waste management supervisor, but I think, I go back to what Phil said, and having been through these types of campaigns when I worked at the region, I remember, I think when I worked there, we rolled out waste management rolled out the green bins, and like there was so much communication and so much, and people were upset and this and that, and then you went from like when they went from garbage collection every other week, like people get very touchy about this stuff, but I think in the end there's always going to be bumps expected, and that a month from now things will look much better. And I think we should try to give people grace. The people who are out there collecting are not the ones that are necessarily deserving of people's anger and frustration. It's nice to see that there was something in that article about how people are giving them the thumbs up. Like, let's all just take a collective breath and give this a bit of time. It doesn't matter how much communication you do. It doesn't matter how much preparation you do. It's still going to have some bumps. It's a brand new system being rolled out across the entire region. I mean, how can we not expect that? Like, it's not going to go perfectly. Also, as a sidebar, if anyone knows what I can do with my old bins, like I haven't read clearly all the materials, but I would like to get rid of the bin collection that I now have in my garage, so that we have room for other things.
It has been recommended that you could reuse those bins for soil, planters, and if that doesn't work in the Call Flesh household, you can tell the supervisor that they can go out on bulky items day and they will be collected as garbage.
Yeah.
So
I will pass that along.
Yeah. I learned that because I've been consuming the messaging as best I can from the region, and I wondered about that too. So there is your answer straight from, secondary, but I promise you that came straight from the region's recommendations on that. And I will recommend the Waste Whiz app again, by the way. I think that's where I read it, actually. I love that app. It really has served me well for years now. Yvonne, sorry to steal some of your thunder.
So much trash talk. So much talk.
Welcome to the Farwell show, Yvonne.
So I experienced these bins when we visit our son out in Beaumont, Alberta, and it works extremely well. One of the things that I think we might want to consider implementing, and heaven forbid we should bring another change to waste, is they collect all their aluminum cans and bring them to a depot and get paid for that, which is a nice incentive to not throw them in the garbage. Which I think is a concern I have, is with these big bins, people are just going to say, I can't be bothered. I'm going to just put everything in the garbage and put them in big bins. Ours went out this morning, so yet to see. We've seen the recycle guys have already come around, but people really resist change. And two things I hope will not happen. Of course, my pre-said statement about everything going in the garbage, but that we're not going to see more dumping on the country roads. 5 minutes drive from where I live, it pains me terribly to see the amount of garbage bags along the country roads like Rydell, New Dundee. Why? People just, why? Stop. You've got garbage you've paid for in your taxes, put it in the bins. The bins are big enough for lots of stuff. So I think we have to give everybody some time to adjust. Things will eventually sort themselves out. And no pun intended on the sorting of recycles. And but yeah, it'll come around. A year from now, we'll be like, nothing happened.
You're all so much nicer than I am. Last week, I put out my garbage. It got collected. The system was fine. I don't know why we wanted to gum it up and get me frustrated. But Phil, you want to make another point and save me from myself.
Two quick things. First, remember how all regions that were going to clear bags so they can actually see what's going in your bins? Well, no, they won't be able to see it. It'll be dumped. So now everything, I hate to say it, but paint cans, whatever, are going to be tossed in there because nobody's going to see it. It's a mystery bin that nobody opens up. Secondly, somebody pointed this out a week ago. What happens if we get the snow this winter that we do next year? The people who park at the end of their driveways on the boulevard, where are they going to put these big rolling bins because they can't shovel a ledge and haul those things up there? So are there going to be a lot of people with no place for either their car or their bins or both or neither? What's going to happen next winter with those big bins when you got no place to put your car or the bin? Does it go on the
Our
road?
streets are
Because
going to
it
get
can't
even
go
more
there.
narrow.
Yeah, it's tough for sure. To Yvonne's point, and just reinforced by you, Phil, I want to acknowledge, because this has been on my mind, but Regional Councillor Matt Rodriguez, who brought the motion forward a little while back to, and I'm pretty sure it passed through, but Matt brought forward the idea that, hey, we had to track this stuff, because I think, Yvonne, you're right, and what you said, Phil, the magic bin, just throw junk in there and it's going to end up into the truck. Nobody's really minding this sort of thing. So let's see if recycling rates, diversion rates change when we move to this new system. Matt Rodriguez wanted that issue raised. I know he brought it up at council, and that's definitely something to watch as we move forward with this new system. Phil Molto, Julie Callflesh, Yvonne Fernandez with us on the Friday 4 Roundtable this morning. A quick break. And when we come back, it's easy, right? It's the stroke of a pen. Can't we all just do what David Eby has done in British Columbia? Time changes this weekend. Don't you wish it was our last? We'll talk about it with our Friday 4 Roundtable as we continue on the Mike Farwell Show this morning, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Boom, boom, acca-lacca-lacca, boom, 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 acca-lacca, boom, 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 acca-lacca-lacca, boom, 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 acca-lacca.
A little bit of Was Not Was by request on your All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. And Nate says Walk the Dinosaur is the most annoying song to him. That's one of the ones that were requested. I liked Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. I have no problem with Was Not Was and Walk the Dinosaur. Maybe because it just takes me back to a simpler time. I enjoyed the 1980s. And then George with his Hey Jude request. I have no idea how that's an annoying song, but that's just my taste. You're allowed to have yours, and that's why we have All Request Friday. On Friday, we also have our roundtable discussing the week's big stories. Julie Callflesh, Yvonne Fernandez, Phil Molto with us this week. Julie, I'll start with you. I'm sure you're preparing. I don't know if this is one of the chores you're responsible for in the Callflesh household, but got to change those clocks on the weekend. We will spring forward. In British Columbia, Premier David Eby says, this is it. We're changing the clocks this weekend for the last time. BC will stay on daylight time forevermore. Should we follow suit? Can we please get on board with this and stop with the time change, Julie?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, when I had little kids, I cursed this time of year. It definitely seemed to be a bigger deal than you would think. Like, it just really messed with the kids' schedules and then our schedules. So, it took a while to bounce back from it. Now with teenagers, time is different, but yeah, I think that we need to ask ourselves sometimes why we're doing these things. The extreme darkness that we have during the winter, you get off work and it's already pitch black outside. It has impacts on people in terms of their mental health and well-being, even their ability to walk to places, walk home from places. I think that this system, if I'm not mistaken, is based on agrarian needs, like to keep the sun, to keep things brighter in the summer, to help with harvest and things like that. I think we need to always revisit these questions and ponder whether or not they're still necessary. So yeah, I'd be all for it.
I'm wondering that too. If we go back to the roots of all of this, like why centuries later are we still... I can't quite wrap my head around it myself. Yvonne, what do you make of it? Should we just stop with the time change?
100%. My understanding is that from my farmer nephew out west, that it was because of farming, but with the massive combines and harvesters and machinery they have, they've got huge lights. They can do things at almost any hour of the day anymore. So if that was the rationale, somehow something sticks in my mind that it also had something to do with a wartime effort. Maybe I'm wrong. It needs more research than me just verbalizing that. But I like whether it was on your show, Mike, or if it was listening to what David Eby said, that studies have shown that there's no safety issue for children going to school when it wouldn't be dark. It would be dim, but it wouldn't be dark. But it's better and healthier for us to have that longer light when we're coming home from work, going into activities and so forth. So yeah, let's just jump on board, all of Canada. Let's just stop with this nonsense.
Yeah, and you're right. That was Premier Eby saying that those concerns have not been borne out in other areas where they have stopped with the time change. And it brings me back to what Julie said too. And I totally get it. Like winter in this part of the world can be very difficult when it comes to the hours of daylight that we get. But whether we're moving the clocks or not, we're getting the same hours of daylight. It just depends on when they appear in our day, right? So I think we have to be cognizant of the challenges that the winter months, the darker months bring, and we can absolutely have strategies around that. But if you're moving the clock or you're not moving the clock, you're still getting the same amount of hours of daylight in a day in this part of the world. But Phil, your thoughts?
Livestock don't have a clock on the wall. They don't punch in and out. So the livestock aren't going to show up late for the milking or the hay. Yeah, they're not going to miss out. And in the last while, and it's interesting, those hippie tree huggers out in BC got it done with a stamp. And our provincial government's big on, we're doing this. We're building the Ring of Fire. We're building highways. We're building bridges. Can you just call the legislature back and just synchronize your clocks one day and just say, guess we're done. That was easy. 30 seconds done. Hit the button. It just seems so easy to do. Why aren't we doing it? And I think now it'll be like a reaction, like everybody else did it. Why was Ontario so late to the party? Now they're all going to be like, let's not be the last ones to do it.
Couldn't agree more. The sooner we get this done, the better. Phil Molto, a 3-decade career in local media. Julie Kalflesh, Director of Fundraising and Communications for Sanguine Health Centre. And Yvonne Fernandez, the president of the Dune Pioneer Park Community Association, with us on the Friday 4 Roundtable this morning. Before I let you go, Phil, I know that you are quite closely connected to the community of Ayr through our friends at Team Vincent Motorsports. And boy, tough week, especially for the business community in Ayr.
It shows you the resilience and pride of small town Ayr, North Dumfries, and all the outlying communities in our region. The Vincents, Halls, families like that, the Edwards, these are families that go back generations, the original settling family names, been in business for 100 years. And when bad luck happens, as has happened to Dave and Terry Vincent, the whole community gathers around them. And it's so inspiring to see. The tornado went through 2 years ago. Then they have the big fire downtown. You know, when you're sitting there and you just shake your head like, what else can go bad? You look, and there's the whole community. So huge shout out to Dave and Terry and all the people of Ayr and North Dumfries who band together. And when times get tough, they're always there to help each other. So huge inspiration right there in the example. Ayr, North Dumfries, you people, you're all awesome.
Yeah, we love you people there. It's been a tough week for sure, and the rebound is already beginning. Phil, Julie, Yvonne, thank you all very much for making time for the show this morning, and I hope you enjoy the weekend ahead. Don't forget to change your clocks Sunday morning, 2 a.m., okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a good weekend.
Good day, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Our Friday 4 Roundtable happens every Friday morning from 11 until noon. We get some different perspectives on the week's big stories and let you listen in on those perspectives. And I've got to say again that our guests this morning, far kinder than I. Look, when it comes to the rollout of our new waste collection system, there's been some back and forth on social media. A lot of people, and that's what we do, right? We go to social media. We come to a show like this. We air our grievances, if you will, when it comes to these sorts of problems. And there has been most people on social media complain. Some pushback saying, hey, like, take a breath here. It's a logistical nightmare to roll this out to a region of 500,000 people. Of course, there are going to be bumps in the road. Let's just see how things look in a month or so. And if we've got problems still then we can complain more about the problems at that time. But naturally, this is the way it was going to go. And I respect that point of view. From my point of view, as I have shared, it's not like we are reinventing the wheel here. This has been done elsewhere. So I struggle to understand why it's been so hard here. And I say that for us too, as the residents, because these bins are clearly marked directionally with arrows and with words showing us which way the bin should be sitting at the side of the road so it can effectively be picked up by this mechanical arm. So this should not be hard for us. It should not be hard for the region because other communities have done this. And the other thing that I get frustrated by when it comes to this is the system was working just fine. I did not hear one person, honestly, complain about the way it was going and demanding change to the waste collection system. So this seems to me like a solution in search of a problem, but here we are. Maybe you've got thoughts on one side or the other of that issue or something else you want to bring up, because Free Phones Friday is all yours coming up. Open phone lines next on the Mike Farwell Show. 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Is Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud, it's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl, I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing.
All right, that one for Jocelyn. Newly minted member, by the way, of Farwell's Force. A force for good, a force for change, a force to be reckoned with. Jocelyn is Farwell's Force member number 528, and she wanted to hear Pink Pony Club by Chappelle Roan on this All Request Friday Songs That Annoy Us edition. Fridays also mean your open line opportunity. Our final hour of the week is Free Phones Friday. They're already getting busy, so I will get to as many calls as I can, starting right now with Mark. Good afternoon, Mark.
Hi, Mike. Couple of quick things for you.
Sure, buddy.
First of all, I don't know where George is coming from. That's a classic song.
He picked Hey Jude as an annoying song today. What?
I couldn't believe it when I heard that.
You and me both.
Anyway, the trucks came around this morning, Mike, and I've changed my way of thinking. They were in and out of here, my street, my driveway, 15 to 20 seconds. And another reason I changed my mind, Mike, why I like it, you know, people put their garbage out the night before, and then you get wildlife coming in, picking away at the bags, squirrels, crows, raccoons, make a mess. So that has eliminated that problem. So I like it, Mike.
When was your collection day?
This morning.
No, but when was it supposed to be collected?
Oh, yeah, actually yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, okay. So, but it got there, and when it got there, it did a good job.
Excellent job.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, Mike.
Thanks, Mark. Good to hear from you today. I appreciate it. My collection day was yesterday. My bin is still sitting at the edge of the driveway today. I think that's just where, because I don't have a garage, I'm just going to store my bins at the end of my driveway because it seems pretty random. And then when they come, they come. But my bin will always be there just in case they show up. That's what I'm going to do with mine. Jersey Bill is next. Farwell's Force member number 12.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot forget about the war. I have to always laugh when I hear, just as the person just calling now talked about the bins and, talk about a first world problem. I mean, we're being oppressed by our government because bin collection is not right, and who knows, whatever with potholes and things like that. Yeah, right. Bombs aren't falling in the street. At least we can be happy for that.
Well, as a good buddy of mine said, you can call it a first world problem if you want, but we live in the first world, so.
Oh, absolutely. Sure, and that's, we have every right to complain about whatever minutia government we want, and that's also something we can be thankful about.
Great point.
But I was worried about the possibility of Russian involvement. I heard a report this morning that Russia may be handing out targeting information to the Iranians. I figured that they would attempt to try to do something like that. Now, whether or not that comes to the attention of Mr. Trump and he actually finally breaks off his bromance with Mr. Putin, that remains to be seen. But it would seem to me, if that's happening, I mean, if anything could get him going the other direction in terms of that relationship, that should be it. No matter how many trillions of dollars supposedly Mr. Putin is trying to bribe Mr. Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law with what he might be able to do for them in the future. It's really, the whole situation is pretty horrible. But Russian helping Iran to target America and its allies, I mean, I think that would be a bridge too far for anybody.
Billy, appreciate the call and keeping our eyes and ears on international affairs. That's 7 days now we are into of the war in the Middle East. I will call it more broadly because, as we talked about during the Farwell show, 5 this morning, I think it's up to a dozen areas that are now involved in this conflict in the Middle East. Sean, Farwell's Force, member number 165. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'd like to talk about our favorite twice-a-year whinge. Okay. Now, I don't know where everybody gets this farm thing from. Daylight savings time was actually brought in by the Germans originally, World War I, to save on coal and for blackouts from the war, and the Allies followed shortly after. So it has nothing to do with the farmers. They don't even like it because the animals don't care about human time. Now, as for permanent daylight time, probably not a good idea. Plays havoc with our circadian rhythms. Daylight is healthier for us earlier in the day. Anything that's closer to sun time is better for us. If anything, we should be on permanent standard time, not permanent daylight time. Sorry if you're a golfer.
Sean, appreciate you. And I've heard that argument. I don't give a tinker's darn. Put us on one time and just leave it there. This idea that we can or even should try to manipulate time is beyond me. And I know time we can talk about being an arbitrary concept anyway. The bottom line is this, as we talked about with our guests on the Friday 4 Roundtable a few minutes ago. The sunlight or the amount of daylight is the amount of daylight in this part of the world, period. You get so many hours in the winter months. So just whatever side of the equation we take it on, earlier in the day or later in the day, I don't care. It is what it is. What it is. Let's stop monkeying around with it. I don't want to move the clocks anymore. I think it's the dumbest thing. Like, oh, this is the way we've always done it. Stop doing it, please. Let's stop doing it. Mike, Farwell's Force member number 37. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mike. I'd like to make all the listeners aware of an issue that's happening with floodplain mapping and the new Ontario mandates. Recently, in our township here up in Bruce County, they redid the floodplain mapping. Conservation authorities do not have any obligation to hold public hearings before they define the new floodplain mappings, et cetera, and so forth. And what has happened up here is that the government of Ontario has mandated a 15-meter and a 37-meter, depending on where you are, setback. So people who were were away from the hazards before are now suddenly in the hazards. And this is impacting people's livelihoods. It's impacting people's insurance eligibility because if you're in a floodplain, you can't get it. It's impacting people's house values. It's impacting the people's ability to get and apply for mortgages. And the whole process, Mike, sucks because there is no requirement to hold public hearings on this matter. You just find yourself in a floodplain hazard area now that never existed. It's based on a theoretical flood, not actual floods. They don't recognize mitigation done by landowners previously. That was not included in the studies. And right now, I have personally, and 10 other people, have got a petition with 1,400 people on this to demand changes to this, because people are spending $50,000 to do soil engineering, coastal engineering studies. And Mike, we need to fix this.
Mike, I appreciate the call and the story about that. I can't imagine that such a change could be made without existing properties being grandfathered in. How can, one day you're in compliance, the next day you're not, just like that, stroke of a pen? I mean, it reminds me of the new garbage collection around here, right? I didn't ask for it. They changed it on me. I'm just kidding. George, double O, George?
Yes.
Okay,
Mike,
hey, listen, what are you doing here?
I feel like I should call and explain myself.
Please do.
The song itself, there's nothing wrong with the song. It's a beautiful song. What's happened over the years, it's been so overplayed, Mike, that when I hear it, as soon as I hear it, I either turn the radio off or go to a different station. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's a great song. It's a beautiful song, but it just became too oversaturated. At least for me, it did.
George, fair enough. As I said earlier, I mean, to each their own, right? My favorite song might be your least favorite song. I do have a hard time, though, with Hey Jude being an annoying song. That's our theme on All Request Friday this week, annoying songs. And George's request was for Hey Jude. In this case, overplayed. I don't think you can overplay a great song, but that's just me. We'll take a break, come back with the next annoying song on All Request Friday, and more of your calls on Free Phones Friday. This is the Mike Farwell Show, 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
PPAP. I have a pen, I have an apple, apple pen. I have a pen, I have pineapple, pineapple pen, apple pen, pineapple pen, pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Until this morning, I was blissfully unaware that such a, quote, song existed. But Clinton, Farwell's Force member number 35, wanted to hear it on All Request Friday, Annoying Songs Edition. In fact, Clinton just emailed me, said, did you play my request yet? Did I miss it? PPAP, Pen Pineapple Apple Pen by Picatoro, by request on this All Request Friday, Annoying Songs Edition. Wish I had never heard it, Clinton, but you've brought it into my universe, and I do not thank you for that, good sir. I do not thank you for that. It's Free Phones Friday, your chance to take advantage of our platform and tell us what's on your mind. Misha is next. Good afternoon, Misha.
Good afternoon. What the happened to the Schmingy brothers?
What? Listen, I wish I could help you. You got to talk to the other guy about this. We had Schmengy brother problems today.
The best band from the Luther Grabs Victoria is the Schmengy brothers, and you missed the best song, Cabbage Rolls and Coffee.
I loved it. I love the Schmengy brothers. I love Cabbage Rolls and Coffee. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make up for it on Monday, okay? I promise.
If you want to come to Lutonia, you let me know, Mike, okay?
All right, thank you, Misha. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you today. Cabbage Rolls. I love me some Cabbage Rolls. I love me some Schmengy brothers. We just had a little difficulty getting the right version of the Schmengy Brothers song earlier today. We will make it up to you, Misha. I promise we'll make it up to you. Preston Paul, Farwell's Force member number 45. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Grand Poobah. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, my ears are bleeding.
It's a rough day, isn't it?
Oh, that's brutal. That's not music, Mike. It really isn't. Boy, George, what is George thinking? Hey Jude is absolute classic. I could listen to that all day long.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, Paul? And I know you and I like very similar music. I can't get sick of this stuff. I really can't.
Nope. When I hear songs like that, Mike, I reach for the volume button and I crank it.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
I got a couple of things. First one, I want to know if when you do your 570 in the morning for the goals,
yes.
After you do that, if you could play Holy Mackinac in tribute to Joe Bowen being his last year. Poor guy's never going to see a Stanley Cup come his way, calling it. But I thought maybe if you could add that on the end, because I just love that Holy Mackinac.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. And good point, Paul. Imagine Joe Bowen saying, this is my last year, and the Leafs might miss the playoffs. In fact, they probably will. Imagine that.
Yeah, his last glory was 92-93.
Man, oh man.
And it took Gretzky to take us out, too.
Don't even get me started, that cheating McCheaterson, Wayne Gretzky.
I know. And I wanted to ask you, did you try that nice little gummy last weekend?
You know what? Clinton, who just requested that awful song we listened to, asked me the same thing. And no, I didn't. So I've still got it. Maybe I can't do it this weekend. I'm traveling with the team. But no is the short answer. I did not go. I did not take the high road, as Clinton put it.
Okay, so my experience with them, it only take a little bit to start, but I found that it really gave me a dry mouth. So you might want to have a hard candies or something to suck on after you've had it, just so you don't get too dried out.
Okay, good to know. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I try. I don't use them very often, but when you do, it'll make you feel good.
All right, Paul. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great weekend. Go Rangers.
You too, buddy. Go Rangers, indeed. We might just add that on to our new morning after the night before feature. JP on 570, which is JP for Jack Pridham when he scores a goal for the Kitchener Rangers, or Eddie Ficetti, which is Dylan Edwards. We call him Eddie. Those two players for the Rangers are scoring goals in bunches and really making it an exciting year for Kitchener. And so we gave up on this other AM on AM in the AM stuff, and we do JP on 570 and Eddie Ficetti. So we'll see what we've got to play for you on Monday morning. To the gummy, if you didn't know the backstory there, I've been battling a neck/shoulder issue, pinched a nerve or something. I don't know. It's been something, that's for sure. But was looking for any and all relief that I could find, and one of my coworkers, bless their heart, thought, well, you know what? I started by trying some CBD oil, or it was a CBD infused cream or lotion that I used. It didn't seem to work, and I didn't love the smell of it. So anyway, then the same coworker said, well, if you need a break, maybe this will help, and brought me a gummy. And last Saturday, I was gonna try it and see how it worked, but never quite got there. So maybe next time. Maybe the next time I have a Saturday night off, I'll indulge in my first ever gummy experience. I'm not part of that culture, and you can be. You know me, I'm a beer drinker. But if I could get some relief from the nagging pain in my left shoulder, then, if the gummy does the trick, the gummy does the trick. Grant is with us on Free Phones Friday. Hello, Grant. How many gummies did you eat today?
I don't eat that.
Oh, you don't, eh?
That stuff.
Would you try to? Do you want? We should do it on the same day and call back and compare experiences.
That's weed, right? Or
yeah, it's got some THC in it. Yes.
Yeah, so it's not good for blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what's not good for my blood pressure, Grant? This new cart-based waste collection system. That's not good for my blood pressure.
Yeah. Well, I say they should all bring them to you. All their carts.
Bring all the carts to me?
Yeah, because I know you like them.
That's true. I love the carts.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what... I tried to listen to that little segment with Sam O'Reilly. You asked him what came out of that fight and what...
Yes.
yeah, I couldn't really understand it. But
Well, it was pretty straightforward. He said there wasn't really much to it. They fought last year and they fought again. That was pretty much it.
okay, and that was a hilarious song about the pineapple. I did call in to ask for my song, but there's no time.
No, we got 2 songs left. It's gonna be the magical mystery tour of 2 more songs.
Mine was Popcorn by Hot Butter,
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
which is very, very, very annoying.
Well, you know what? Now you put it in all of our minds anyway.
And what else was I gonna? Oh, yeah, you had during the first intermission or second intermission this individual. I won't say Yahoo because he had marks up in the 100%, right? Remember that guy?
Oh yes. Matt Onushka at the University of Waterloo. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder how he got that high.
Well, I'll tell you how he's a smart kid. That's why. Came through the Ontario Hockey League. He's a Waterloo boy now, not only performing very well in goal for the University of Waterloo Warriors, but he's a top 8 academic all-Canadian with an average up above 97%. Impressive stuff. And thank you, Grant, for listening to the Harris Law pregame show, which is where you heard that Sam O'Reilly interview the other night, right here on your home of Rangers hockey. Pregame coverage for 30 minutes. Ain't nobody else doing that anywhere in the league. And we bring you closer to your Kitchener Rangers players. We'll do that again tonight, Josh Piercy and I, starting at 6:30. Right now to the 570 News Center for an update, and then we continue free phones on the Mike Farwell Show. 570 News Radio and Rogers TV.
Muskrat, muskrat, candlelight, doing the town and doing it right in the evening. It's pretty pleasing. Muskrat Susie, muskrat Sam, do the jitterbug out in Muskrat Land and a shimmy. Sam is so skinny.
I mean, I don't know how annoying that is. I think I could enjoy that gummy on Saturday night and maybe play some Captain and Tennille. Have myself a good old weekend. That's Muskrat Love by request from Tom on this All Request Friday Annoying Songs edition. We've been counting them down all day. There's only one more to come. What will it be? How annoying will it be? You're going to have to wait about 10 minutes to find out. Right now, back to the phones. It's a busy Free Phones Friday. Lee is next. Good afternoon, Lee.
Hi, Gumby. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
About 4 days ago, Ottawa police opted out of the federal firearms confiscation. What's going on with Water Regional Police? Why are they still on the fence about whether they're going to participate in the gun confiscation or not? You have the chief on once a month. I didn't see the last time he was on. Did he say anything about that?
The time before he did, and it is expected that Waterloo Regional Police will comply with the federal legislation and support it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's going to be interesting.
It always is when it comes to firearms, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I wonder why they're participating when everybody else is dropping out.
Well, not everybody else is dropping out. Guelph has dropped out, though, too. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Lee.
Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome.
And enjoy the weekend with your gummy.
Thanks. I just might do that. Appreciate it. Take good care. And just to be clear on this federal legislation and regional police services support of it in carrying out the administration, nobody is going to come and hammer on your door and break in and demand your firearms. It's just not the sort of thing that's going to happen. Then there's the voluntary component and then the legislative component. Anyway, nobody's going to come and break down your door and take away your firearms. But it is expected under the new legislation that should you be in possession of one of those firearms that is now deemed illegal, thou shalt turn it in for compensation. And I know, listen, I'm not a firearms owner, nor am I a firearms enthusiast, but I have heard that you don't like the money being offered by way of compensation. Anyway, just so you know, nobody's going to come and break down your door because they think you are in possession of an illegal firearm. But when it comes to the administration of this federal program, yes, Waterloo Regional Police will be in support of it. Catherine is next on Free Phones Friday. Hello, Catherine.
Hiya, Mike.
Hiya, Catherine.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the game of ice hockey, and I don't understand the points. Why are they so important as opposed to who won that game?
Well, when you win a game, you get points, and whoever gets the most points wins. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. And then this blue line, it keeps moving around?
The blue line definitely does not move around. No, ma'am.
Oh, does not?
No. The blue line stays right where it belongs.
In the center.
Nope, that's the red line.
Oh, that's... Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Catherine, you are more than welcome. I am here to answer your questions at any time, under any conditions. Kyle is next. Free Phone Friday. I'm laughing already. I'm laughing at myself, Kyle.
Did you take a gummy already?
Nope. Did you hear Misha call before?
No, actually, I was on the phone with my sister. We're planning Easter.
No, you didn't hear Misha call?
Who's Misha? No.
Schmingy Brothers.
I know. I heard my song this morning, but that wasn't that was the Schmingy Brothers, but that was called Valerie.
Listen, I'm not going down that road right now. There's enough animosity in this studio right now, okay? So Devin and I are going to work it out like friends later, and we're going to make up the song to you. But you didn't hear Misha call earlier?
No, I was on the phone with my sister. We're planning Easter.
You are so full of malarkey. Anyway.
Eyes are green, not brown. But anyways. I got a question. We should have a part two of your...
No.
I was thinking part two. Life of Mike Farwell. What do you do during the weekend?
Oh, you want to see me in my gitch with my feet up? Is that it?
Yeah, then you're doing your crossword, then you're watching TV, going for a nap, taking Rosie the pandemic pup for a walk. I think you could get many views on that, Mike.
All right. You know what, Kyle? Challenge accepted, but not... Well, no, because this weekend I'm on the road with the hockey team, so...
And you're taking your gummy tomorrow, so I don't know how that would feel on the...
Well, that'd make for a great video. Imagine me sitting there. I'll do a selfie video after I take the gummy. How long after do you think it's going to hit me?
Give it an hour.
Okay, so at 55 minutes in, I'll turn on the camera and we'll see what happens.
Make sure you have lots of snacks, too.
Of course I will.
All right, sounds good. Have a good weekend, Mike. Good luck. Go Rangers, go, buddy.
Thanks, Kyle. Good to hear from you today. Kyle requested the other day that I share a video of a road trip with the Kitchener Rangers from my perspective as the radio broadcaster. So on Wednesday, when we went to Sarnia, I shared a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff from getting onto the bus to getting back home to my house and checking on the clock. And Byron pointed out when he watched the video, it's posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Farwell Show. I know many of you have seen it and commented on it. Byron said, well, I didn't see you get back off the bus. The thing is, Byron, what I did when I got to the rink is I get there early enough so that I have time to... I don't want to be the last one. I don't want to keep the bus waiting by any stretch. And I like to stay out of the players' way, right? So I just did my stuff on the bus, showing you, here's where I go and here's where I sit and here's what I do. And then, because the players, I don't want to stick a camera in their face all the time, right? They got things to do. They got preparation to do. So I just showed you my stuff. So when we got off the bus, I didn't want to come out with my camera. Hey, guys, I'm going to... I don't know. That's just a me thing. But I think they deserve their space because that is their space, right? I don't know how exciting it is to see somebody sling a bag over their shoulder and carry it back to the locker room. But anyway, that's their space. I'm just sharing the space with them, so I show you my perspective. That's why that part wasn't on there. But I was happy to take you into the house. Rosie the pandemic pup just lays there like a lump. Ernie pointed out she's not much of a watchdog, is she? No, she's not. She just lays there. Anyway, not a bad idea, Kyle, thinking that a weekend in the life of. It's going to be a long time, though, I think, before I have a weekend without hockey. So we'll see. Watch me laze around on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. We'll consider that. Some more behind the scenes, behind the Mike Farwell show scenes. We'll see what comes up. John is next on Free Phones Friday. Good afternoon, John.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. Very much appreciated.
Thanks for making it.
First of all, I just want to thank you. Just to let you know, I'm in my home office with a copy of Invisible Baggage tacked to the wall, and I carry one in both my briefcases. I really appreciate that article and always have.
Oh, my gosh. That's an old one.
I know, but it's good for the soul, and it's also very inspirational.
Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that.
So, like I said, I'm in my home office. It's on the wall there in both my briefcases. What I'm calling about is, again, I re-listened to the call on yesterday about the potholes. I live in Mannheim, just off Trussler. Just to give you a little perspective of what's been going on there, the horror story. January 9th, going to a Rangers game, season ticket holder, 23 years. We turn on to Trussler, bang, 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 blow a tire, ruin a rim. Other people on the side of the road blew 2 tires. We got home, back in another vehicle, go to the game, 4-2 win, yay. On the way back, 3 other cars pulled over, taking pictures of the potholes. I called the next day to the region. The lady was very nice, gave me the information to who to contact, fill out the forms. I did. She says, that's what we have insurance for. In short order, basically denied. And then they gave me another avenue. They said, well, we checked with the insurance company, denied again. It's not the fact that I blew a tire and trashed a rim. It's the extra $1,700 damage that nobody wants to take responsibility. And basically the insurance company says, no, the roads are fine. We put cold pack down.
I share that frustration, John. I really do. And I'm sorry it happened to you. I can't believe that was denied, to be honest.
Oh, I've been to 2 different, 2 really good independent garages, and they both said, we cannot believe this has been denied. And it's just frustrating. They just say, well, no, we put cold pack down, everything's fine. And when you talk to the region, said, well, we talked to the insurance company, which the insurance company for KW is out of St. Catharines, which I don't think makes sense. But they said, we checked with the insurance company, and sorry, we can't do anything for you. I'm just very frustrated by the whole thing. And I sympathize. I know they're out there working hard in the cold, garbage weather and patching everything. I'm not mad at the city for that. What I'm frustrated is the whole insurance thing. It's just deny, and it's going to be, when it's all said and done, over $2,000 out of my pocket.
Yep. I hear you. And isn't that why we pay insurance? And isn't that why the region has insurance? And it just goes on from there. Thanks for sharing the story. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Anytime at all. Great to hear from you today. I'll just take this opportunity to remind you, first of all, this is an election year. And John is talking about Trussler Road, Regional Road. You want to just go over the recent record of our region here? Speed cameras. How did that work out? How did the rollout of that program work out? Winter, snow clearing, salt shortage, road maintenance, Trussler Road, Regional Road. John and so many other vehicles busted out tires and rims. So how's that working out for the region? Speed cameras, road maintenance, water. I mean, that should probably be the first one, right? We took a great water system around here, the envy of North America, if not the world, and got it completely gummed up. And now, welcome to your new waste collection system where your collection day might be Thursday, but they won't come by until who knows when. My collection day was yesterday. Bin still sitting at the front of the driveway today. 1, 2, 3, 4, just off the top of my head. That's your regional government at work. It's an election year. I'm going to make you feel as old as I feel before 1, I promise, and one more annoying song on our All Request Friday. That'll come up right after this. Stay with us on the Mike Farwell Show. This is 570 News Radio and Rogers TV. would be Yin Yang by USS by request from Pete on this All Request Friday. Songs That Annoy Us edition. It occurs to me that many of the songs, they're not actual music, right? They're just noises made with computers. And then some auto-tuned voices kind of making noise around them. Anyway, good job by you, Pete. Good job by you making me the least annoying part of this show today. We'll have another All Request Friday with a brand new theme 1 week from now as we wrap up Free Phones Friday today. Bob is next. Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Well, I have not heard from you in a while, young fella. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just got out of the hospital earlier this week.
Are you sure you're doing okay then?
Well, I think so, yeah.
They fix you up okay?
Oh, it's something that flares up every now and then.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're on the right side of it and you're calling in today. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to hear you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, instead of switching the hospital names from WRN.
WRHN, Ren, yes.
Why not spend some money to make the doctors and nurses have an easier job? Do something that really matters for Mr. Doug Ford.
Well, don't ever change, Bob. I don't think Doug Ford mandated the name changes to the hospitals. Our hospital systems merged into the Waterloo Regional Health Network, and then with that came the changes. And that is not money that I think would have been spent on the hospitals or internal to the hospitals themselves on frontline staff. But again, that was a board-level decision. I'm certain that did not come from the Ministry of Health. Doug, you're on Free Phones Friday. Good afternoon.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, Doug.
Nice to see you better in the afternoon than the morning.
Your phone's no better in the afternoon, though. We got to work on this.
Well, maybe I got to upgrade my hands-free.
Maybe.
Anyway, this is going to be kind of my left field for your the songs that annoy you. There's more than a few for me, but the one that annoys me the worst is Christmas time. It's that, oh my goodness. Last Christmas I gave you my heart. What a whiny, poor me. That's not a Christmas song. It's a whiny, poor me. I made a stupid move and now I'm paying for it.
Doug, Doug, it's springtime. Stop it.
I know. If you want an annoying song, that's an annoying song. It still annoys me. I don't even hear it.
I love it. So fired up is Doug over last Christmas that he wants to call in and rant about it in March. I'm here for it, buddy. I'm here for it. Mary, Farwell's Force member number 1. Good afternoon.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mary.
Hey, I'm on the time change, and it's a bunch of baloney.
It is a bunch of baloney. You tell them, Mary.
Because, Mike, talk about the farmers. Saskatchewan hasn't changed their clocks since 1966.
I'm going to move to Saskatchewan.
They're a agrarian province.
They are.
They are. And go Rangers, go. And Ontario says it won't change until the states change. Why do we care what they do? Really?
It's a good question, Mary. We should be our own independent sovereign nation.
Darn tootin'.
Thanks, Mary. I love to hear that laugh. It's a good way to finish our show. Jim is here on Free Phones Friday. Hey, Jim.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Pretty good.
Good.
I just had a quick comment about garbage pickup and whatnot.
Yeah?
So I live in a rural area, so everybody around me are farmers. And they come out to do the green bin pickup every week. And I watch the truck drive around and pick up no green bins because everyone's a farmer. And I just think that's just in my little area. If you would look at all of Ontario, how much of that goes on. I wonder what the carbon footprint of driving around picking up nothing is.
That's a really interesting question, Jim. The carbon footprint of not collecting, because the green bins on the farm, of course, all go back into farm uses. I don't mean to make you feel old, but I felt a little bit old when I read my morning paper. There was an interesting story about people who get up early and believe in that part of the day. I'm more of an early bird than I am a night owl, but that's not the point. The two pull quotes in this particular story really caught my attention. One came from Amy, who's based in Calgary. The other from Michaela, who's based in Vancouver. Amy is by definition, job title, content creator. Michaela is a confidence coach. I just remember when I was a young lad, we would have these guidance counselors in high school. We'd go and talk to them about the jobs we wanted to do someday, and they would guide us towards the right courses to take so we might be able to one day obtain those jobs. And we'd say things like, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a carpenter. I want to be a plumber. Never did I ever think, I wonder if anybody went to a high school guidance counselor when I was in high school and said, you know what, I want to be a confidence coach. I guess technically I am a content creator. I like to use the terms professional radio communicator, you see. But hey, content creators and confidence coaches. I'll take jobs that I never thought would exist for $200, Alex, and I appreciate that. You go and you make your own way. And gosh darn it, if you can make your own way as a confidence coach, God bless you. Rangers, Greyhounds tonight. Josh Piercy and I with your pregame show starting at 6:30. I'm looking forward to talking to you then. My name is Mike Farwell. You are a force for good. Bye for now.